summer holidays dawn on Bondi. Within hours, 40,000 people are sprawled across the beach. Identifying in-danger swimmers amongst the enormous crowds requires expert eyes. 16-year veteran Reidy has spent hundreds of hours scanning Bondi's south end. Reidy relies on the vantage point of lifeguards in the tower.
Kind of doing double leg kicks.
Yeah.
Clint Kimmins has 7 years lifeguarding experience on the Gold Coast, but is in his first season at Australia's busiest beach.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's panicking. He's definitely no good.
Trainee Berkey is also at the south end. He's on a rostered day off, but working as a buggy driver for the Bondi Rescue film crew.
And even on my day off, I was still watching the water. I knew something was going to go on down here.
It's just starting to open up now. That tide's really starting to drop.
Suddenly, 5 more swimmers lose their footing on the sandbank.
There's a few others out there now. I'm going to go in.
Just one. Copy, mate. We'll keep eyes on you. 5 or 6 more people just lost their feet and started to panic.
Oi! Oi! Go in! Go in!
There are now 6 swimmers in trouble and only 1 lifeguard.
Yeah.
Saw him go in, I was like, oh, this is on. I started thinking I might have to go in here.
Yeah, central to Jethro.
Backup is 800 metres away at the north end.
Mate, there's a few more heads down there. It might even be worth just heading down that way, mate.
Usually the horn's really useful to clear a path, but on this day the horn wasn't working.
I was looking at other people in trouble thinking, geez, we need a few more lifeguards out here. Hey, buddy, oi, oi! Oi, swim to me, swim to me.
A man further in struggles to stay afloat. Trainee lifeguard Berkey is off duty and faced with a decision.
Mate, that guy was properly drowning. I knew I had to go.
As the rip intensifies, yet more swimmers are sucked out.
Yeah, central to North Rhino. There's about 5 heads now, so worth going in when you get there.
You've got to get on the board. Lay off your stomach. Stomach. No.
Copy, don't go in.
3 arms out of the water.
Jethro finally arrives with first-year Bondi lifeguard Jack. Reidy, Berkey and a volunteer lifesaver manage 5 patients. 2 more swimmers cling to a small bodyboard. Jack heads for the 2 swimmers who are waving, when Jules identifies yet another person in trouble.
There's a chick close to shore who's like practically drowning.
Wait.
You can't ignore when people are in distress.
PA Jack and tell him to turn around and go for the chick into his right. She's the priority.
There's now only 1 lifeguard left on the entire beach.
By the time I grabbed the megaphone, Jack had gone past it. I just had to get in there.
Jethro's going in.
People drown in a minute. You think they're sweet and they just sink, so you can't really leave that up to chance.
Escalated quickly.
Bruno Chent is visiting from Hong Kong with his family.
We've been looking for him on the wrong spot the whole time.
I am on the pedal. I try to swim as hard as I can. My kids are also here, so I'm really happy.
Is my dad seeing?
Glad you're okay. This is my 5th summer on the beach. You know, it's time for me to really step up. We've got a lot of new, inexperienced lifeguards, and you know, that puts me in a position to be someone to look up to.
No more swimming in the south corner.
Every new experience is a lesson for Bondi's latest recruits, especially when an old master is on hand to give a demonstration.
It's the middle of the day, you got an outgoing tide, and I'd been monitoring this little girl on a bodyboard.
Yeah, you've probably got that chick in front of you there. Yeah, attention all the swimmers in front. Need to come back to shore.
Hop's solid. He's been around a long time, and he's a bit of an iceman, you know. He very, very rarely boils over.
Might be in, Mouse. Yeah, Hop, you'll be in for sure, mate. She's freaking out.
So Hop gets out there to make the rescue, and as he does, the water starts to move a bit, and before you know it, we've just got a large volume of people in the water that can't swim. The rest of the beach is super dangerous, so to just hurry things along a bit, I just send Boo in.
It might be worth going for a paddle, Boo. Yeah, I'll go for a paddle.
This wave, get us. Hang on.
Of course, on the way out, Boo ends up grabbing a different new patient, and yeah, we just got the same problem on our hands still.
Just hang on.
Yeah.
Thought I was only going for the one person, and then it became two, and next thing you know, there's four.
Hoppo is single-handedly faced with a mass rescue, yet doesn't signal for backup.
By this time in the tower, I'm starting to get a bit stressed out. There's about 5 or 6 people caught in this rip.
As well as the 4 swimmers clinging to Hoppo's board, another 4 are looking for direction out of the rip.
Hoppo's got probably 8, maybe 9 patients, but I don't think he's concerned one bit about it. I've got the aircon on full blast because I'm overheating up there, and Hoppo's just out there lounging around, waiting for someone to paddle out a mojito or something to him.
Don't lose many.
Yeah, Gons, can you go down and grab a board?
Finally, Hoppo reveals the secret behind his cool composure.
We were drifting quite easily to the sandbank, and I knew that I could get the whole 9 there without having any backup.
In here, guys. We'll drift over to the bank, okay? Don't go that way.
Hoppo, the master waterman, knows exactly where the rip will take everyone, as long as they stay calm.
Hang on.
Any other lifeguard probably would have waved for some assistance, but he knew he could handle the situation one out.
Right, yeah, stand. Okay, let's keep walking.
6 swimmers need nothing more than Hoppo's calm directions. The remaining 4 disembark with the boss.
I don't think I've ever seen a lifeguard have that many patients and not even paddle one stroke.
All right, there you go.
But he pulled it off with minimal effort, as he always does.
Eleanor and PG are cousins, originally from Italy.
I realized I was in trouble when a little girl asked me to save her, and I'm like, me? Shit, I'm in trouble. I was like, sure, don't be scared. And I was like, on this little board at the back, and then the lifeguard came.
Yeah, the lifeguard was very good, very good.
Oh, in my career, I've done many mass rescues because in the early days we were working on our own at the beaches, so it was regular. You'd be bringing in, 4, 5, 6 people at one time.
I thought you might need the ultimate to back up. Yeah. Good rescue.
Still quite a satisfying event.
So it was exciting.
Pack up time, and the lifeguards issue their final announcements.
The lifeguard service is packing up and going home for the day.
So you're going to be swimming at your own risk.
Some swimmers aren't heeding the warnings.
Central to South Rona, you got those heads, yeah?
Yeah, copy.
From my angle down the beach packing up, one of the swimmers in the group looked absolutely terrible.
I reckon you go for a paddle, Jules.
All lifeguards are drawn to the situation.
I reckon you're in. I don't know how good they look.
But the boss isn't making a move just yet.
We could see Jules and Hoppo observing, and we were really curious about when they were going to go.
She hasn't gone yet.
Oh, Hoppo's there.
You want to give swimmers all the chance to get out of a rip on their own, because then they're experiencing the situation they're in.
Hoppo wants the 3 people to stay calm. He can see the rip will move them onto the sandbank if they don't swim against it.
You will see what happens with this bed. It's kind of pushing them right onto the bank.
There's 3 guys out the back. They'll start coming back in.
Hey, those people are genuinely struggling,
Hoppo's there.
I was thinking, why aren't these guys going in?
If you go in too early, sometimes they don't even realise they're in any sort of trouble.
Hoppo's steely composure comes from 27 years lifeguard experience.
They're closed.
But it's now clear the three swimmers won't make it back on their own.
Hey, just go for it. Jules is going to go for a pattern.
The moment I hit the water, you can hear people screaming and yelling.
At that stage, I could have gone in to back her up, but I wanted to get the experience of being able to bring two people in. I was quite confident she could do that.
I've got this inner voice that's going, if you can't do this, why have you got a blue shirt on?
Julian and Hannah are on holiday from Germany, along with their friend Farhat, who is held up by a nearby surfer. Harries radios the lifesaver jet ski to assist.
Can you just do us like a run down to the southern end?
Should be able to hold them, and then they'll drift pretty quick to that sandbank.
Copy, Hop. Yeah, all good.
Hoppo's sweet, mate.
I was like, you there, and then next minute, like, the surf jet ski rocked up.
Offloading one person makes it easier for Jules. But as Hoppo predicted, the rip has sucked everyone onto a shallow sandbank. Jules and her patient are now in the impact zone. The jet ski weighs 500 kilos. A wave from the wrong angle could cause it to roll.
You're holding on to the patient, demanding that they hold on. You just have to brace.
The man has grabbed the lifesaver jet ski just in time.
Okay.
Jules and the woman must endure the next wave of the set.
Those waves are so punchy and powerful that they'll break on you and just suck you down.
Jules gives it a crack, you know. But you got to be robust and tough. And Jules, she gives it everything she's got.
I've got to back myself and my ability because I am capable.
It's just the second time Hannah has visited Bondi. Jules makes sure it's not her last. Julian is delivered by the volunteer lifesaver jet ski and Farhat by a local surfer.
We are happy about the lifeguards. So
Yes.
they helped us really. I screamed help and she screamed as well.
Yes.
Yeah, and
I
then
was
the guys
very in
came.
panic.
Yeah.
It was definitely a good rescue, and in front of Hoppo, you know, didn't nosedive, didn't lose the patient. It's always a nice feeling knowing that you complete it to the best of your ability.
I understood why Hoppo didn't send Jules in earlier. That whole rescue, 3 patients were rescued with only 1 lifeguard. Yeah, Hoppo's been really good to me. Look, I look up to him. I've looked up to him since the age of about 5 or 6 when Dad started working here. And when I started, he took me under his wing, so we've got a really good relationship.
What I'd say to the Berkey as a trainee and the new guys coming on is just to stay calm and think about what you're going to do before you actually go and do it.
To get that cool, calm composure, you need to spend a lot of time on the beach, take deep breaths before you say anything on the radio, and understand that you need not to rush into situations. My goal one day is to have the skills like Hoppo, but the man's been on the beach for nearly 30 years, so I think it'll take a bit of time to get to that stage.
Back to the sweet times, the hot nights. Everything is gonna be alright in the summertime. Baby, in the summertime, that is well.
Yeah, so when the temperature gets super hot down here at Bondi, there's a lot more things to look out for. There's a lot more happening away from the water. You know, we got heat stroke, heat exhaustion, people are dehydrated, you get kids locked in cars, you know, people have been training outside, they're collapsing. So there's a lot for us to focus on those really hot days.
But the sun is really hot.
Today it's super hot and you just get that feeling in your gut that something's going to happen.
Mid-afternoon, and the temperature hits 35 degrees. As the mercury goes up, beachgoers start to go down.
But you do get severe cases, we need to call the ambulance and they need to get further medical attention. I'll give you a bit of ice to put on your neck and...
Thank you. Oh, it was literally just kind of like a feeling of overheating and then, yeah, a little bit of kind of blurred vision and then I just woke up.
Many overseas visitors are unaccustomed to Australia's hot summers.
Stick on your neck, it usually helps it around the back of your neck.
But in a heat wave, sunstroke can be the least of their concerns.
Put attention on these swimmers in front, guys. Come back into shore. Move north, back into the flags.
We've got a huge volume of tourists coming down at Bondi, and with that, they bring a whole lot of inexperience down here to the water. It's a recipe for disaster. One of the warning signs for us as lifeguards is people that swim fully clothed. It's a bit of a telltale sign of inexperience, and it's something that we look out for a lot.
Mario patrols the south corner.
Just be careful with this girl on the boogie board. Just come back in for me, please.
Originally from Italy, he's worked hard to handle any situation.
Hands up, Mario, hands up.
A man is caught in backpacker's rip. He's fully clothed and struggling to stay afloat.
It was so hot and then he went in the water with his old clothes and he couldn't swim, so he was drowning.
Office worker Ahmed came straight from work to get relief from the heat.
So I was like really struggling there. I'm 185, the wave was like over my head.
But the jeans are very heavy. It's like having an anchor. Not good.
The heat continues to attract more novice swimmers to Bondi.
Just that group of girls at the back. Just start making your way back in for us, please.
A classic summer's day down here, people are swimming everywhere, ignoring the flags, ignoring the dangerous current signs, and it's just a matter of time before something kicks off.
6:45. Pack-up time and final warnings are issued.
The lifeguard service is packing up and going home for the day.
Stay close to shore all the time. There is a bit of a dangerous current here.
Out there and the flags have come down, so you are now swimming at your own risk. We do recommend that you jump out of the water.
We're here for 13 hours a day. We pack up at 7 p.m. We warn all the public that we're finishing for the day.
We'll be back at 6 a.m. Please be careful.
At the end of the day, we can't be here 24/7, and the general public need to take responsibility for their own actions and if they're going to stay and be in the water.
7 p.m. and it's still 27 degrees.
Get out, people. You're done. Leave.
Yeah, go home. Go to your family.
Before we go home, we assess the beach. If we need to do overtime and hang around, we will. Tonight, it's like a pond. There's a small rip in the south corner, but that's about it. So we're heading home tonight.
We finish and hopefully no one goes swimming after that. But yeah.
At 7:15, the lifeguards finally go home. Then, 20 minutes after lifeguards gave final warnings and left the beach,
Guys, watch out!
3 young Chinese men went swimming in Backpackers Rip.
People take that risk and I wish they wouldn't do that.
The men were rescued by members of the public, but one man remains unconscious. He's not breathing and doesn't have a pulse.
Just get back.
Off-duty lifeguards saw the commotion.
Mate, I was just after work swimming at Bondi and just seen the helicopter flying around Bondi, so I raced over and sure enough there was a resuscitation in progress in the south corner.
Even if I was off duty, I still help people. It's one life. There is no price for that.
Paramedics resuscitate the man using a defibrillator.
I got a look at him as they were walking up the beach, and he wasn't looking real good at that stage.
He has a pulse and is breathing, but remains unconscious. It's unclear how long he was underwater.
We put such a big effort in for those 13 hours of the day to make sure everyone goes home safe, and when you hear of something happening after hours, it can be devastating.
A day later, and the man remains in hospital in a coma. Head lifeguard Hoppo believes inexperience led to the tragedy.
On pack up that night, there was only one small rip down south where Mario did the rescue during the day. The rest of the beach was quite calm and flat. So what I think happened was the three walked into where that small rip was, and then eventually couldn't stand up and started panicking.
After last night's tragedy, Mario isn't taking any chances with Backpackers Rip.
Hey, go over there, close to shore.
The tragedy weighs heavily on Mario, the last lifeguard to leave the beach before the drowning occurred.
It's so important, that's why we get so sometimes angry, you know, like with some people that they don't want listening us, because it happened like in a blink of your eyes. It's like people can lose their life, you know, and then, yeah. My mission today is to stop everyone down there.
Why?
Because there's drunk.
Don't get yourself in like this hyper-vigilant state over that. Like how many people swam down there yesterday?
Yeah.
You know, thousands.
Yeah.
We did a good job.
Yeah.
I felt very sad, very, upset.
A new face on Bondi. First-year lifeguard Sam is learning the ropes. It's not just rescues that are testing his skills.
Was he wearing goggles or no? No. No goggles?
What's his name?
Sopare?
Yeah.
This man from Cambodia has lost his 10-year-old son, Saparith.
You just want to say his name?
When lost children are last seen in the water, alarm bells ring for lifeguards.
You don't know how well he can swim, so if he has gone in the water and there is such a crowd, it's easy to lose someone like that.
Number 1 we have a missing child, a little Cambodian boy, aged roughly 10, wearing a grey rashi, I think, and black boardies or pants.
There's thousands of people down here, so it's pretty hard to spot him, that's for sure.
What's right, English and Cambodian?
English much better.
Much better?
Yeah.
All right. He had really bad English. My Cambodian's terrible, so, you know, it was really hard to communicate with him. So, Pardon, we have your father here. If you have been swimming and you've lost your dad, we have found him.
Sam is in his first year at Bondi. He focuses on the water, but experienced lifeguard Jules thinks otherwise.
I just thought, well, 100% my gut feeling is this kid is not in the water. They're just lost on land.
We've been driving around for 15 or 20 minutes and he decides to let me know in casual conversation that his wife is also down here and he does have a car.
Yeah, around there.
Straight away I'm thinking, well, a kid's first instinct is either go back to the car or find mum.
So I think we need to try and find the car.
Yeah, I'll be fine down here.
And I thought, this is going to be super easy. Go find the car, locate mum, child, done. So maybe you park on this side of the cafe?
Yeah.
Maybe? We couldn't even find the car.
The case of the lost kid is becoming the case of the lost dad.
Or did you park near a children's playground? like near the park here.
I don't remember.
We'll walk this way. Yeah, the language barrier was unbelievable. I mean, we get that. That's not a rare case down here. Did you walk down a lot of stairs to get to the beach?
Yeah,
a lot of stairs?
That's there.
I just did a whole lot of hand moving, backpack walking.
I came from here.
Yeah, and you walk this way. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, so we'll walk this way.
Okay.
Okay. As humans, I think everyone knows, you just figure it out. You just do a lot of expressive stuff.
I'm walking. I'm confused.
No, that's okay. That's okay. You're stressed. It's okay.
Yeah.
This one?
Yeah.
Where's your wife?
Maybe he changed the car.
Are you sure this is your car?
My wife changed the car.
Finally, the car is found. But it's empty.
This your car?
Then, a familiar face.
And I'm thinking, well, this is great. We've found your car. We've found your wife. Where's the kid?
Bắt smart mà. Ai tên phone bị bay đó họ khơi. Ngõ bên kia không nữa họ mới dẫn vào phía ấy.
And then next second, the kid just kind of pops out from behind Mum and steps in front. And, you know, I was wondering why Mum looked so cool, calm and collect and was looking at Dad kind of funny. The kid was with her.
Thank you. I'm sorry about that. He disappeared before telling me. Yeah. ขอบคุณจรัญ
He needs to work on really knowing where his belongings are.
Among today's team is veteran lifeguard Kaylin Collins, known as KC. After 17 years on the job, KC still remains an enigma, even to his colleagues.
KC is definitely a man of mystery. He keeps to himself.
A former Ironman, Kaylin likes routine.
He trains basically the same time every single day, has coffee at the same time every single day. He eats the same lunch from the local Thai restaurant every single day.
Kaylin has earned a reputation for a no-nonsense approach to the job.
Hey, come back to us.
You'd see someone waving, screaming, and he goes, no, you still got some fight in you. Get back in and teach them a lesson. Instead of going out and just helping them back in, he makes them learn for next time. So if they do get stuck in a rip, they can get out of it when there's no lifeguards.
Kaylin's been here for years and he's never ever done an interview for Bondi Rescue.
That's until now.
I don't do many interviews and I'm not seen on Bondi Rescue very much because I'm quite boring.
He's a knowledgeable guy and he's an asset to the service.
4 p.m. and the tide is outgoing. Kaylin is called to the middle of the South End after Mouse spots a man in trouble.
Hey, Kaylin, can you just come up in between second and third round? Just spotted this Indian bloke and he's actually really seriously about to go under.
In the crowded water, it's important to identify exactly who is at risk.
There he is. Surfer just went past him in the hat, that's him.
Shut up.
Nah, to the left, about 20 metres, he's going to go under.
Next to the bodyboarder, Indian bloke, about 20, 30 metres to the north, getting away with the back of the head now.
Oh yeah, I got him.
Before paddling out, Kaylin must first clear the shallow sandbank.
Unbelievable.
Sandbanks are notoriously uneven, with hidden holes impossible to see.
I looked at the patient and put my right foot in the trough and then landed a bit awkward. Half went, I went down, and then it all went left.
This swimmer, he needs assistance straight away. And as soon as I see Kaylin go down, I'm just thinking, who's going to save this bloke?
Fortunately, a nearby surfer hears the man's screams.
He sort of come and collected him, which was really lucky because that was his last chance there. Mate, I don't know how that guy just survived.
The man is now safe, but despite Kaylin's injuries, he continues to assist.
He just got washed in, he was fine, and then hopped up the beach, and Troy from the Rhino was wondering what was going on, and
It's clear that Kalen is now in need of assistance himself.
I think KC might have done his leg. Yeah, I've seen him hit the deck on the way in.
If he's busted, just bring him up.
But before Kalen gets treatment for himself,
Gus, it's up here on the edge of the dry sand.
there's a new patient with a strangely similar injury.
Here we are. You're both injured now. We just done his leg.
It's quite funny going down to a guy who's been injured. He's just done his ankle.
How?
You're on the TV, by the way.
Just jump right up. Five and go up. Two patients, one's a lifeguard and one's a member of the public.
Should I get on with him?
Yeah, jump on as well. Let's all go.
They both had one good leg each, so when they're walking up the stairs, I think they could help each other out.
Kalen is one of those old school tough blokes and takes a lot to stop him.
Yeah, a little bit. Okay, we'll swallow up there. I'll get you some ice.
I don't like to not finish a job. End of the day, it was only a calf. It's not like I was bleeding from an artery or anything, so it's very minor.
Finally, Kalen can treat himself.
I tore the calf muscle. 3-4 weeks recovery before I'm back sprinting across sandbanks again.
A week earlier, Mario attended a drowning which took place after lifeguards had gone home. A 21-year-old Chinese backpacker was resuscitated and taken to hospital in a critical condition. He has been in a coma since. Today, news of the man's condition has been relayed to the tower.
So how is he going? He's been in a coma for about a week and they're flying him back to China today so he can go be with his family. So I thought I'd let you know.
Yeah, it's just as I said, it's a fine line, when you come down the beach and play in the water. Life and death. Well,
that's pretty heavy. Hey? Yeah. It's heavy. Yeah. You boys did a good job though.
Yeah.
It's,
pretty sad.
The man isn't expected to survive. Mario was the last lifeguard to leave the beach, just minutes before the man drowned.
Yeah, I wish I could help him before, it's very sad. This moment got me, I don't know. I had quite a few, in the years of lifeguarding. I don't know why, it's just so close, it's very touching.
Take me back to the sweet times, the hot nights. Everything is gonna be alright in the summertime. Baby, in the summertime, that is where I'll be.
So we've got two big storms coming from the south, which is coming through waterfall. There's red and black in there, so it's going to be pretty intense. There's probably a bit of hail in there as well.
I think we're in for a massive storm.
As soon as that southerly hits, you can see it come across the water. And then lightning, thunder. It's like music to our ears sometimes.
Not every lifeguard enjoys a storm.
Everyone knows that Jules has a phobia of storms.
No, I don't like storms. They're not my favourite thing at all. I respect them, but I don't like them. I'm not comfortable in storms.
But this storm has another surprise in store. One that's got everyone ducking for cover.
Some of the hailstones were honestly like the size of golf balls.
They're full on. Mate, how gnarly.
I hadn't seen hail that big for many years and we were all pretty amazed by it.
You're getting bigger. Look at the ones over there. Look at the water. Look at the water.
Of course, I was a bit concerned about the surfers in the water, just because of the size of the hailstones, you know.
Look at all the surfers with their boards on their...
It's the biggest hailstorm to hit Sydney in 20 years, and some locals don't want to miss the occasion.
Here we are! We're stuck in the surf!
Oh, I've pretty much come down here every day for the last 53 years. That's quite unusual, yeah. We, get a little bit of hail, but not like that normally.
It's hailing! Yeah, you don't want to get them on your head.
One of the great things of Bondi, it's normally a beautiful, lovely beach, but when it's bad, it's bad.
No matter what the weather, Bondi's lifeguards must remain vigilant.
Even when the storms do come in, you can't completely let your guard down because not everyone leaves the water.
Max, Harrison and Mario monitor the beach from the shelter of Bondi Central. Max thinks he's seen something in the water. But then it's gone.
I was looking at the flag and I was wondering, is there actually a person behind there?
He's behind me.
Whatever's there is obscured from view by the flag.
The flag is in the middle.
500 metres to the north, Hoppo has a clear view.
Yeah, go ahead. And then all of a sudden, the guy popped out from behind the flag and I was like, wow, we really need to get this guy.
It's unclear how long the man has been struggling against the rip.
We got a swimmer. He could swim out, and now he got stuck.
As I got closer, I realised I'm in here. This guy's not good.
The man bounces off the bottom.
He's up here. He's coming back up. He's going under. Go Arizona.
Each wave costs Harrison vital seconds.
It's very close to him, yeah.
As precious seconds tick away, the man barely has enough energy to keep his head up.
Yeah, you got him.
But that's when I'd noticed that closer in there was another guy who was just the same amount of trouble.
Another man has drifted into exactly the same spot. But from the tower, he's also hidden by the flag. Mario is unaware Harrison has a double rescue on his hands and needs backup.
I turned the board around and I tried to catch a wave in, but on the angle, so I could pass him and collect him on the way through. In my head, I thought it would go to plan. It didn't go to plan. That's definite.
Mario can't see the second swimmer behind the flags, so Hoppo races to back up from the other end of the beach.
To me, they look like they were in a lot of trouble.
Hoppo and someone else.
Overshooting the second patient poses a new dilemma to Harrison. Who to help next?
I told the first guy to just don't let go. Really dangerous to go out and try and rescue someone with no equipment because they're going to see you afloat and they're just going to jump all over you. They don't care if they take you down with them.
Hoppo battles the waves. In a panic, the man pushes Harrison underwater.
In that situation, Harrison was well in control of what he was doing. He just needed my help to do it more effectively.
The first guy who was getting rescued is being boarded in now. Yeah, all good. Back on the beach.
The two men are part of a Korean tour group.
They swam in a strong rip. We saw them just, and it was very touch and go, yeah. They were, you know, whether we say seconds, I'm not sure, but if we're not here, they drown.
Their friends are happy to see them back on the beach. Well, kind of.
What, guys? 두관 잡고. Harries.
Are you okay?
딴거 너무 많이 마셔가지고.
언제? When was it?
아니 저기 갔다가.
I was so worried. Yeah, anything is wrong or just any damage, you know, I just worry about the, you know, the brain damage.
Tour guide Mary had told the guys to swim between the flags.
I told you between the flag, we only allowed to inside between the flag. It's too far from here.
When the sun returns, it's a Christmas present for beachgoers.
Merry Christmas!
You know, we're better to be on Christmas Day than Bondi Beach, celebrating the sun.
Thousands of backpackers descend on Bondi to celebrate.
This year was one of the busiest Christmas days we've had for a long, long time. The sun was out, the crowds were here. It was one of those epic Bondi Christmas days.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
But not everyone's silly season is going to plan.
Yeah, just to Central, can you please get an ambo?
Local musician Stewie has dislocated his shoulder while enjoying a swim.
Pain relief, okay, buddy?
Shoulder surgery, and it's that shoulder that's popped out.
Yeah. We're gonna give him some pain relief and then take him maybe up in the tower.
The green whistle contains a powerful analgesic gas, methoxyflurane.
It's almost like being intoxicated.
So you get something on this?
Just take in as big a breath as you can. It kind of takes away the pain and creates a really funny outcome most of the time.
Take it easy.
They got me on the green stuff.
Yeah. Real deal, baby.
I knew instantly that we had a serious character on our hands.
Oh, man. Juice me
Keep
up.
sucking on the whistle, you'll be fine.
You got to start selling these things Christmas time. They go gangbusters, wouldn't they?
Stewie.
Yeah, brother. I'm feeling all right, mate. The green whistle's working. But yeah, I could rock and roll a bit more.
In his spare time, Stewie is the front man of a local rock band.
Keep rock and rolling. I've got a band, Thunderstar. I'm trying to rock and roll, train going. Thunderstar, 100%.
Oh, yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. You ever play guitar?
Yeah.
I knew there was going to be something strange and obscure that me and him were going to bond over.
As soon as this shoulder gets popped back in.
And it didn't take much prodding to work out that bond was music.
Another thing Jethro shares with Stewie is the pain of popping a shoulder. Jethro dislocated his shoulder a few years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel for every shoulder case that walks in. I know the pain they're going through.
That's it, take deep breath. Deep breath. Woo, she's painful. Yeah, she kicks in. You made her shoulder pop out? Oh. I reckon it's worth it. Childbirth. The pain is...
Paramedic Stacey is trained to assist with dislocated shoulders, like Stewie's.
Hello. Has this happened before?
Yeah, it's happened about 100 times before.
So take a few good deep breaths of that. Won't move you until we need you nice and relaxed.
Oh.
Let's get you back. You want to rest back? Back. Big breaths on that green whistle. Just get yourself comfortable, okay?
Paramedic Stacey offers a second green whistle.
There you go, have a go at that. You just have a look at this thing on your finger. Have they had problems in the past putting it back in to place?
Yeah.
After 10 or 15 minutes of attempts to try and put the shoulder back in, Stu is just getting in more and more pain.
If Paramedic Stacey can't put Stewie's shoulder back in place, He's off to hospital for treatment and possibly another surgery.
Have a few big breaths of this. You're gonna just let me take the weight of this one. Rest your back against the back of the chair. That's it. Puff your chest out. That's it.
Oh, that was it.
Felt that. Just hold
You
this.
just
Don't
did it
move it
down.
for just a second.
Oh, I love you. You just took all that pain. That.
Let me take this for a second. My work here is done.
Stewie will undergo rehabilitation before he can get back on the guitar.
Yeah, I was a pirate. See you later. See you, buddy. Thank you.
I don't reckon a shoulder injury could stop Stewie from strumming. I reckon he's got a bit of talent and he's hiding from the world. We need to see it.
Every festive season, the man in the red suit puts on a show for local kids. Jet ski Santa, surfing Santa, skateboard Santa, painted Santa. It had been a long line of successful Santas, till Reidy decided on Scuba Santa.
Scuba Santa didn't really go to plan. I planned on scuba diving from out the back and make a gracious entrance as Scuba Santa. And I ended up just coming out looking like a drowned rat.
This year, Reidy wants to redeem himself.
I feel like I can outdo myself here. I've got an awesome sleigh, I've got the suit, and I feel like we can achieve Bondi Santa greatness.
Look, the pressure isn't just the children on the beach. The pressure is executing the job right in front of all the lifeguards because they're going to have the biggest laugh.
Perfect for me.
Maxi and trainee Berkey will be Santa's little helpers. But not everyone is convinced this is a winning combo.
Oh my God. The elves, Berkey and Maxi. Hey! Like, I wouldn't want Berkey to be my assistant. Especially not such an important job like Santa has. And Maxi's a bit of a buffhead. So it was a terrible team. Absolutely shocking team.
Are we ready, elves?
This year's Santa extravaganza is a surfing sleigh powered by elves catching a wave all the way to the beach.
Just want to make you all aware that Santa has just left the North Pole and he's at North Bondi now. He's just out there on a board. He's just jumped off his sled. His estimated time of arrival will be about 3 minutes to shore. All those kids out there, he's got goodies for you. You can see him out the back. He'll be coming in shortly on a wave. Every Santa surfs, you know it.
Peanut gallery in place? Check. Kids waiting for the spoils? Check. Reidy striving for redemption? Check.
It was just going to be the greatest entrance of all time.
You know what I want to see? The old nose dog and stuff squatching, ready to go and flying over the handlebars.
Well, I thought they were going to crack a wave all the way to shore. You know, these guys can catch waves in their sleep.
But then, disaster.
I can know, here we go.
I was stoked. The tower went up, but it was like a volcano in there. I'm sure the whole beach was just laughing their asses off at these 3 grown men crashing their sleigh into the sand.
Santa's abandoned ship.
When Santa was face down, the kids thought maybe it's going to be a bad Christmas, but I helped him up the beach and yeah, they were quite excited to rip in and have some goodies.
Merry Christmas! Who wants some lollies?
Well, he came in over the waves and he had a big sack of fruit and we thought, well, this isn't right. And then he opened another sack and it was full of lollies and everybody dug in.
So, what's the verdict on this year's Santa?
Nah, he's a bad Santa. We're really sad.
Yeah, I feel like I nailed it. I feel like my elves sabotage me.
I don't know what he's thinking, blaming ourselves. You know, we're in the workshop 364 days a year, and he asks us to help him on the one day, and he blames engine trouble. Come on, mate. Go for another swim.
A few days earlier, local muso Stewie dislocated his shoulder. After receiving first aid from lifeguards,
The green whistle's working.
he's back with a Christmas present.
And I wrote this song for these guys because I really, appreciate what they do, and I just haven't got enough to say to the lifeguards. They're just so good.
I was sort of hoping I'd see him again, and lo and behold, he's come back in here with his guitar.
Thanks for the day, brother. I'm getting nervous. Anyway, this is for you, Jeffro. Bondi Beach on a sunny day. Wave after wave, Frankie had its way. I was flying like a goat, but I'm free again. Oh, bugger, your shoulders popped out. You don't want to down on the sacred ground. Pirate down, call Bondi Rescue. I need Jethro on his pirate black pearl to get me to the Tower of the Hour. Hey, 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 Bondi Rescue's on its way. Over the ocean and across the sky. Jethro's pirates and the Bondi Rescue are gonna save your ass. Shut up.
Yeah, I've definitely got a little corner of my heart for Stu. I've got a place reserved for him. I love him.
Back to the sweet times, the happy nights. Everything is gonna be alright in the summertime. Baby, in the summertime, that is where.
We're not cops, but we have a duty to make sure that everyone that comes down to this beach has a good time, and we'll step in if someone's getting in the way of that.
26-year-old Will Bigelow is in his first season at Bondi.
First got the job, I was stoked. I was so happy, considering that the year before I tried out and I didn't make it.
Before becoming a lifeguard, Will played top-grade rugby.
Little blokes like us need big boys like Will to cast a dense shadow and demand respect on the beach. Keep us all safe.
Respecting other beachgoers is an important part of beach etiquette. A woman approaches the tower to report an incident.
Somebody was about to smoke on the beach. He's completely wasted, and I told him, you can't smoke here. There's kids right next to me. And he spit all over my face and all over my arm.
Actually spit on that?
Yeah, and wasted, like absolutely drunk.
Maybe go for a little cruise with Will.
Candace is a tourist from Canada.
But like, you called me a lesbian and said you lesbian and you spit all over me.
I've grown up on this beach my whole life, and I've never seen anything or heard of anything like that done to someone here. No, I don't stand for it.
He's right there in the blue hat.
Blue hat?
Right here.
Right here?
Yeah.
Lifeguards don't have powers of arrest, but there are enforceable rules about smoking and drinking.
When I got close to him, he was rolling a ciggy and reeked of alcohol. Hey, mate. Hey, buddy. So, mate, I've just been informed that you spat on a female.
I didn't spit on a female.
Well, you're intoxicated. He was on the back foot as soon as I got up to him. I was told by her, I don't care, mate, it's no smoking on the beach. You're intoxicated. We have witnesses saying that you spat and kicked sand on her.
Did I spit on anyone? I didn't spit on anyone, mate.
Will's got him now. I was trying to speak quietly so it didn't draw too much attention. You and your mate can either get off the beach.
Here we go.
I thought he was going to try and have a swing. But I wasn't confronted or scared of him.
Just to explain to you, I don't understand
listen,
what
mate.
the problem is.
I'm not going to ask you and your mate to get off the beach, or I'm going to call the cops. I reckon a light wind would have knocked him over. Good on you, mate. Have a good day. Keep walking. Go. Yeah, no worries, mate. I thought it was extremely satisfying to help Candace. I've got sisters, I've got a mum, I've got a partner. If I wasn't around, I'd hope that someone would step in and do the job that I did for them. If anything else happens, come here.
I will, thank you.
No worries.
It's Will's first confronting situation at Bondi. But then, just as he arrives back at the tower...
The member of public grabbed me just before I got into the door. Hey, please. Yeah, mate. Got a report of a bloke jumped the fence at the back of near the car park. He just jumped over and he's stuffed himself up. So you sort of get a call like that, alarm bells ring, and you snap into action pretty quick. Is he one of your mates, or you don't know him?
No, I don't know him. We just saw him jump over the fence, over where the road is, and then down there. He's holding himself.
Off the wall here.
Off the wall, yes.
You hear that someone's fallen from a height. First thing you think is they've hit their head. You take those things pretty seriously.
It's a 2.5 metre fall onto concrete.
From far away, he looked dead. Yeah, go ahead.
Mate, where are you? Gonzo's gonna come give you a hand.
Brother, I'm just behind the hill, up in that back car park there.
Right away, Pervy, he'll be there in a sec.
Buddy, hey. Mate. Hey. Hey.
Rubbing the sternum is one way to assess consciousness.
Hey. Still wasn't responding, so I thought that there was something immediately wrong.
Hey, Central, the bloke is not very responsive. He's breathing. He smells like he's drunk a fair bit, but I think he might have done a bit of damage to himself.
Righto, mate. Do you want me to get an ambo down?
I reckon I'll probably get an ambo.
Yeah, for sure. I'll get you bars down on the line.
Buddy.
Will can't be sure if the fall caused the teenager to become unconscious or something else.
Buddy, so you saw it just from here?
From there, yeah.
Did he land in between this?
He landed in between there, yeah.
Did he land on his feet or did he land on his... You didn't say that?
I didn't see that. I just saw him jump over when I was walking across the road, so that's when I came and got you guys.
First-year lifeguard Will hasn't dealt with a medical emergency like this.
Buddy, still breathing.
Yeah, Hop, the bloke's, he's not responsive at all. He's breathing. Everything's pretty normal, but he's just not awake. Yeah, copy that.
Head lifeguard Hoppo, Gonzo and off-duty lifeguard Harrison assist.
First thing we did is we got in there and just did the sternum rub.
What's your name?
When we found out he's conscious, went through all the checks for spinal.
I reckon he's landed on his feet and fallen on his elbow.
Will's had a look, there's no bleeding or anything from there.
Gonzo and myself worked out that he had landed feet first. That was the best of the worst situation.
Oh, mate.
Lifeguards are concerned he may also be drug and alcohol affected.
Mate, can you tell us what you've taken? Any alcohol or drugs? Yeah. What have you taken, mate? Just we've got to try and help you out. What have you taken? Heroin?
MDMA.
As soon as we heard drugs were involved, we were thinking it might have been an overdose.
How much MDMA have you had?
I was quite concerned.
Just
He reeked of alcohol. He'd supposedly taken MDMA and I don't know how much he'd taken.
The person at the other end of his phone may have answers.
Mate, I need to ask you a few questions. How much has he had? He's told us he's taken MDMA.
No, he's not. He's just drinking.
Mate,
he's not getting into trouble.
He's not going to get into trouble, but we just need to know because your mate's, he's not in a good way.
No, I wouldn't lie to you. He hasn't taken, from what I know, he hasn't taken any drugs. Conquer from a shot.
All right. And then his mate started rocking up.
Can you fall down there?
And the situation just escalated. They saw the cameras, they saw the crowds. Hey, is this your mate?
I'm best mates with him, bro.
Yeah, all right.
That's all right.
Just stay there, please. Stay there.
Well, we just need to know how much is he had.
Watch out, wait. Step away from
At least it's not even a whole one. Not a whole one.
It looks more than alcohol. It's more than alcohol, mate. They kept trying to get really close to him.
Can I please have the word to him?
Mate, he's not responding to us. He's not going to respond to you. They were young, full of grog, and I think, yeah, the emotions just got the better of him.
Lifeguard's immediate concern is that he could choke on his own vomit.
Yeah, I reckon we get him out now. He's had half a bottle of vodka, He's taken an MDMA and he's in between a parking meter and a wall. So we knew we had to move him out of that position just in case he did vomit.
Just keep him in the shade.
We needed to make sure that he was on his side and had the best chance to not, put that back down into his lungs.
The ammo is just coming down the parade now.
Half a bottle of vodka. Yep. And he's told us he had MDMA.
Okay, fantastic.
Did he have MDMA?
The gentleman came over, I saw him jump off the wall.
Jumped feet first, landed.
I assume there's no injury to his head or anything. So.
As a precaution, paramedics use a spinal collar and board.
The whole time I was really hoping that the kid would end up getting them fluids up out of him.
Let's get him out of here, hey?
But if he vomits on his back, it's going to go down into his lungs.
Then, at the most precarious moment, the worst thing happens.
Have you got the airway there?
The teenager's airway is now the priority. The spinal collar must be removed.
Have you got the airway there? Yeah. All right. Flip side.
As disgusting as it is when someone vomits, in this situation, it was really good. You knew this kid was getting some of that liquid out of him.
His airway is now safe. At hospital, the teenager will be treated for an overdose and assessed for other injuries.
Taking drugs can turn people into another person. Your friend wanders off, probably thinks he can fly, and falls off a wall.
It's fine. It's all good. He's a soldier.
But if we weren't there, he could have choked on his own vomit. He would have died.
People gamble with their safety at Bondi on a regular basis.
Stay where you can stand.
Most commonly in the surf.
Every single time someone jumps in the water that can't swim, it blows my mind. It completely astounds me that people put themselves in a situation where if you lose your feet, you're gonna die.
A huge crowd enjoys unusually gentle conditions, but with many poor swimmers, lifeguards must remain vigilant.
Lots of people in the water, everyone wanted to cool down that day, everyone wanted to just have their taste of Bondi. The flags were really safe, but if you fell off that sandbank, it was really dangerous if you just didn't know how to swim.
Glick and Jethro spot a swimmer in trouble.
I'll go for a paddle. Yeah, go.
Quick scout for someone.
Initially, I went out for one person who was just outside of the flags. And I didn't even see these other three people, but they just crept in the corner of my eye.
There's a few splashes out there.
They were going under, they were drowning.
All three men are desperate to get on the rescue board.
Glick's already in the water with 3 patients, and then all of a sudden I spot another guy who's in just as much trouble nearby. This guy had absolutely no swimming ability, 0 to none.
But yet a 5th man is in trouble. He helped the others stay afloat, but is now struggling himself.
Yeah, can you go in?
Yeah, copy, I'm gonna go on puppy board.
Yeah, go. Whatever you got, go.
Panicking makes the situation more dangerous. Jethro tries to calm them. But as fear takes over, logic goes out the window.
It's hard enough managing one panic patient, but 3 patients, it's very challenging.
So you want to run down?
As soon as they start panicking,
They just flipped.
they just kind of sink.
Singlets is a full weapon. He's already heading in the water now.
You know that you're always going to be backed up in this job, no matter what.
Backup is closer than Glick realises, as a volunteer lifesaver joins the rescue.
One of you come here. You stay there, mate. You come here.
The situation is finally in hand. Then Glick decides on an unconventional rescue technique.
We caught a wave face to face. I just couldn't be bothered turning him around. So I was just asking him like what he had for lunch, how was your day, where are you going now, want to go for a coffee? I got very up close and personal with him.
All right, no more swimming here, okay? No more.
He just went from being absolutely fine to a mass rescue like that. Hectic.
The men are friends. Their English is limited, but the sentiment is clear.
I don't know how I'm going there, but they rescued him. Just they rescue me.
We need you to move right across into the red and yellow flags.
Just as lifeguards begin to relax, a southerly change hits the beach.
The southerly affects the beach conditions a lot. The surf comes up and the sand blows everywhere. So it's like a mini tornado down at Bondi.
That wind was out of control. Umbrellas are flying everywhere. Basically, people were just leaving the beach. The wind was very strong that day.
But one family isn't daunted by the wind. They've brought an armada to Bondi.
No chance. The flamingo's going to fly away.
As soon as we saw them, I pointed them out. I was like, hey, just watch this.
That ball was not even making it on the way. It's going to bounce. It's going to bounce over her head and go back up the prom.
The beach ball has disappeared, but the woman seems determined her other inflatables won't escape so easily.
She had a flamingo and a unicorn. She had them tied together.
They might need a hand. The flamingo's stuck down there.
There's no way she's going to get from the promenade down to the shoreline without help.
Do you want me to try and help her?
Yeah, go.
If there was a lifeguard that seen himself as a flamingo, probably be myself.
But we all reckon he's a bit more of a peacock with his tail fluffed up, shaking his bum around.
Harry's a gentleman and he'll always help out the damsel in distress. Yeah, he went down there with bells on. Oh, she's over it.
Harry's is the perfect man for the rescue.
You all right?
But I think this one was just a little bit out of his comfort zone.
You all right? Do you need a hand?
Hello, gorgeous.
Oh, what about the ball? Where'd the ball?
I have to be honest. My bloody umbrella went somewhere, and I've got 3 other girls that are chasing a mad ball.
The ball.
The worst day.
Let's have a little fly. Can we take it for a little ride?
Oh, yeah.
I've tamed a couple of wild lovers in my time, but I've never tamed a wild flamingo.
Look at Harry's. Oh, yes!
Oh, what a gentleman.
Oh my God.
Come on, girls.
Oh, the ball's back. That ball is going to fly away.
Yeah, it's gone again.
I've pretty much seen it all. I've rescued 5,000 people out in the water. I've rescued a wombat on the shoreline.
Stop. There you go. That's what happened.
Today I was challenged by a blow-up flamingo.
Hey, Harry's, no flamingos on the beach.
Gotta put it in for this boy, mate. There you go.
I got him down to the water's edge.
That's so good. I'm so proud.
And then all of a sudden, the blow-up beach ball took off into the air.
Oh, yes! Go up. Ready? Go up. Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah. Oh.
When we saw the ball go, yeah, the ball's gone.
Where did it go?
But Harry's managed to tame the wild flamingo.
Just lay it, maybe sit on the flamingo.
I'm gonna sit on the flamingo.
I think she was very grateful.
There we go. It felt really good to be able to help this family enjoy their experience at Bondi with their flamingo.
I want wanna take you away, come please with me to my merry-go-round in the sea.
I've been to Bondi before, so I said, let's just go out and take the inflatables. And I got here, I went, Jimmy blowing them up, they're too windy. And they go, no, let's go. But they're still chasing a ball that's bigger than them.
She wanted to go into the water, and I just had to say, it's not a good idea. It's just too much of a windy day.
And I know that this is an international beach and there's everything else, but I reckon I can match it with a big boy. I'd like to have a go with him.
Sad to say, but you're going to have to bring your flamingo back another day.
I'll take you away, come please with me to my paradise in the sea, merry-go-round. Take me back to the sweet times, the hot nights. Everything's gonna be alright in the summertime. Baby, in the summertime, that is where I'll be.
Blue bottle poison can affect lymph glands in the armpits and groin. Some people experience swelling and pain in very intimate parts of the body.
You know, being a guy, when we get stung and it goes to the glands, certain things can swell and can be very, very painful.
Come in, sit down, just sit down here, mate, for a minute. That's normal in there. Pain in there, is it? Yeah. First time. First time? Yep.
Matthew is from country New South Wales. It's his first time at Bondi and his first encounter with blue bottles.
No, me and my cousin went up about knee deep. Yeah, just come up, stung me on the ankle and then start radiating up against my leg and then started in the groin there and then...
Yeah, I've been stung heaps. Kills you.
Painful ain't the word. I'm yeah, that is something else. Feel like I've just been kicked in the back, you know. And
Lifeguards provide Matthew with a bag of ice to reduce swelling. Self-administered.
Men, they cop it a little bit worse sometimes.
They give me a bag of ice so I can tuck my bags. Don't make me laugh. That's even more.
There's a long history of folklore about how to treat a blue bottle sting.
A lot of the old guys from the surf clubs will tell you that urine's the best thing for it.
Someone would cop an open hand slap if they try to urinate on me.
It started out with vinegar and then it was like cold water.
Rub sand into it.
We used to use this Blue-O, which was a toilet detergent which we put into mixed with water.
We typically go with the ice just because it's the easiest for us to hand out.
So, what is the best treatment? Mel Murray from the Australian Museum studies these unwelcome visitors.
There are a huge amount of old wives' tales that are out there. The preliminary research that's been done on the venom and the toxins, they believe that it's a protein-based toxin. So heat kills the protein.
Right. Some sprays help neutralise the poison, but the most effective treatment is to immerse the sting in hot water.
So that stops the venom from being injected and it also stops it from travelling around further.
Late morning, and the beach is still under siege. A boy presents to the tower after his very first swim at Bondi.
Got a bit of a sting here. Oh, that's all right.
9-year-old Zach has suffered a blue bottle sting over his entire leg.
Relax a little bit. Okay. Just chill out. Everyone's reaction to a blue bottle sting is vastly different. This kid was screaming and I'm thinking, oh, you know, maybe it's just a little bit of an overreaction. I'm thinking, oh, this'll calm down in a little while. No, this is the magic spray. That's all right. No. It didn't really calm down at all.
Zach arrived from the UK just 4 hours ago.
Got attacked by probably one of the worst things that can happen to you at the beach. So, you know, I think for the poor thing, it was just this horribly overwhelming scenario.
No.
That poor father was watching his son scream for help and he couldn't do anything, and we really felt for him.
Applying hot water is impractical in the tower.
Look at this. It's going to fix it. Here we go. Good stuff. It's going to fix it.
It doesn't bother as that.
Where's
As that.
It was a really difficult moment to not be able to take a child out of its pain and settle it down. That was just becoming extremely hard to watch.
Team leader Harries decides to take Zach to the showers and neutralise the pain with hot water.
I'm a bit rattled. So we get him across the road to some hot water, which we think, you know, is a good chance of doing some good, and now we hit another speed bump.
Zach refuses treatment.
And can you blame him? He just come out of the water and had a really bad experience. He's not so fond of going near water again.
It's going to make you feel better, I promise you. Put some water on it, yeah? That's it. It's going to be okay. Just want to put a little bit of warm water. Good boy. Okay. It's all right. No! You want to come out?
No! No, keep doing it, keep doing it!
Okay, good boy. Oh, it's okay.
Then things get even more complicated.
All of a sudden I turn around and Dad's feeling faint.
A good idea to get the ambos, have a look at him. Dad's not feeling very well now.
He's obviously built up a whole heap of adrenaline to protect his son, and then all of a sudden that adrenaline works off and he's in pain and he's just about to faint.
Sam, we're just worried about Dad now. His glands have come up in his groin, which is not a nice feeling either. So, you know, I think Dad's doing pretty well to hold up and be pretty stoic despite the odds. I've got a son around the same age as Zach, so I can imagine exactly how the father feels. I thought he's going to go into a seizure. Mate, what do you think about using an oxy whistle?
100% singos. Yeah.
The green whistle is an analgesic gas that provides powerful pain relief. Harries also decides it's time for backup.
Ambulance, thank you. He might be in that 1 percentile where he's actually allergic to blue bottles.
Zach's father is back on his feet as lifeguards administer the green whistle.
So what you got to do is you've got to put it in your mouth like this, all right, and just breathe it in, and it's going to take the pain away for you. Breathe, good boy. Good boy, okay? Nice deep breath, good boy. I know. I know. Look how brave you've been. There you go. Oh, wow. Good man. That's progress. See, we're getting a lot better, aren't we?
Yeah. How good silence. Huh? The sweet sound of silence. Golden. 10 minutes ago, wasn't the case.
Yeah. That'll be a friendship being stung by a jellyfish.
Or a big jellyfish.
Never seen a kid like that before. He's like almost possessed, and now he's in the shower cruising.
Paramedics arrive to find a much calmer patient.
What do you reckon? Normal panda? Yeah, I'm 37.5. Good man.
Zach is given a clean bill of health.
Hey Zach, that was your first trip to Australia, mate.
Yeah, love this place.
What do you think of Bondi?
Oh, thumbs down.
What do you think of these guys?
Oh, yeah! The situation started to come back into a normality sort of scenario, and gee, that was a big relief.
Well, I think it was shock. I think it was just shock. He didn't know what to do, and he's hurting.
Perfect. All right, see you later, guys. No worries.
So I'm going to go swimming. I'm going to go swimming in the swimming pool instead of the sea.
And Dad will sit there with a beer watching him.
As the blue bottles retreat, Bondi returns to normal. Singlets and Harries conduct a final patrol before closing the beach.
Just come back into shore.
Then, a report of an injury.
A child comes running up, and on a closer look, it's my 14-year-old son.
Noah banged his head on some guy's leg. Yeah.
My initial reaction was one of absolute surprise. I was absolutely racked with fear.
Singlet's older son takes them to find 11-year-old Noah.
How far down?
It was at the flags.
Okay. Hearing that your son's not breathing well, I knew I had to support Singlets and get him up to his son quite quickly.
It's Singlets' son.
Take some deep breath, it's all right.
There he is in the blue short just here. At this point, I have no idea what's wrong with him.
They establish Noah collided with a local body surfer.
I don't know where he was because he was completely submerged under the water, and then I just felt his head kind of hit me over here. I thought something had happened to his neck, and then he got up and he was feeling his back.
His head would have folded when he hit. So he hit pretty hard, did he? Yeah.
Lifeguards take potential spinal injuries very seriously.
When he took a deep breath in, he did have pain in the midsection of his spine, that thoracic region. Take that deep breath again for me. What's that out of 10? What's that pain?
Got motor function, he's got movement, but the rest is still a little bit unknown. Okay, don't try and be a hero. Like, it's okay if you're in a lot of pain, like, you know what I mean? I just want you to be honest, because then we can work out how to treat it better, you know, like.
After a head-to-toe assessment of Noah for a spinal injury, he didn't have any loss of feeling or sensation, so I thought it was okay to transport him up on the buggy up to the lifeguard tower. It's more probably muscular.
Yeah, right. Just careful, slowly. I'm panicked, I'm worried, I'm nervous. There's so many emotions going on here right now.
How's any tingling down your fingers at all? No? When you stood up, yeah, did you feel weak at all? A little bit weak, yeah?
He's a very tough kid and shows no emotion. So I could see tears in his eyes and I could tell that he was really struggling with this, but he wasn't going to outwardly show it to anyone.
Just be honest with us, because I don't want you to kind of mask it and say it's all right, and then we think it's okay, we send you home and everything, and then tomorrow you can't move your neck, you know what I mean? Like.
When we got him to the tower, I definitely looked back and thought, could I have handled that a little bit better, and should I have, you know, got the spinal board involved, and should I have done more?
Sit there now and take a big breath with me. You still, I saw that, you're still getting a pain in the back, aren't you? A little bit.
That's why I was so thankful that Harries was there.
The ambulance is jumping out. Yeah.
Do you want me to get an ambulance to go?
Yeah, I do. Because I just want to get it all cleared out and I want to make sure that it's safe and sorry.
Spinal injuries can be difficult to detect. Jesse learnt this himself after a massive wipeout. Despite walking away from the accident, he later discovered he'd fractured his spine. The lesson is to err on the side of caution.
Let me know if anything changes, all right? If you start to feel sick.
I'm starting to worry right now about long-term damage.
That'll be right. Have an ambulance coming. Oh, it's just a bit upset, that's all. I know you are, I'm just a bit upset, that's all. No, because I'm worried about you and it's scary.
He was being a tough little soldier. Being a child, you don't understand the severity of the repercussions or the incident itself.
But we'll feel better if we know what's really going on anyway, so.
Yeah, then Dad can sleep tonight.
Yeah, after I've called your mother.
Noah,
Yeah.
my name's Rob. Alright, can I have a feel of your head and your neck? Is that okay? You don't have to move. You stay right there, mate. You stay right there.
He did the same thing to the call taker
There you
as
go.
well.
Any pain there when you're doing that?
Did a couple of the questions and then got frustrated.
Alright, grab my fingers again. Alright, now push towards me.
749 Rummer Road.
Alright, any pain there?
This person's CLI address.
Yeah, what about when you pull to you?
Market unable to locate. He's
Yeah?
not going
Okay.
to,
Is it in this region here? Okay. And when you take a deep breath, it hurts?
Paramedics decide Noah needs more tests.
It was a great relief that, you know, Noah was going to be in expert hands, and the fact that they didn't put him on a spinal board and do all of that was also a little bit of a relief to me because I thought that, you know, we'd done the right thing as well. It was consistent with our treatment.
You want to jump in there, mate? Yes, thanks. Yeah, I'm stressed at the moment. Yeah.
Wheeling him out of the tower on a stretcher and getting into the ambulance was really, really tough situation for any parent.
New Bondi lifeguard Clint Kimmins has a blue chip pedigree. He's patrolled Gold Coast beaches for 7 years. As a professional big wave surfer, he's also one of the fittest lifeguards on the beach.
Lifeguarding for so long on the Gold Coast and then coming down to here, it just feels I'm where I'm meant to be.
Clint and Harrison patrol the south corner.
All of a sudden, we could just hear this scream for help, help, help.
Clint's skills are about to be put to the test.
The buggy was still going and I'm just looking over and he's trying to grab the board while I was sitting down. So Clint's in there, second ramp. He knew how serious this was. This was a matter of seconds.
It's one of those ones where you know if you don't get to them as soon as possible, it could amount to a death.
It's a 50-metre paddle through solid waves.
He was going underwater. I had to get to him as fast as I could.
Then the swimmer disappears.
It was one of those ones where if he goes under a wave and we lose him, he could be gone forever. You could just see that look in his eyes. It was just pure terror.
Hold on, I got you. Oh, you catch your breath.
We dodged a bullet there. That was as close as it gets.
Fortunately, the waves weren't that big. I knew I could hold on to him and I just wasn't going to let him go.
But even for a pro big wave surfer, sometimes a small wave can present its challenges.
You can't be perfect all the time. You have to nosedive every so often.
Oh, a bit of a nosedive.
Patient enjoyed it.
Clint, you know, surfs 30-foot waves for a living. Big wave surfer, but a 1-footer at Bondi on the sandbank. Got him unstuck.
The red and yellow flags are always the best safe spot, safe flags.
I think just seeing Clint nosedive at the end after a great rescue just made me feel a bit human again. You are so lucky. You are so lucky, mate. That's as close as it gets. I don't know how he walked off the beach that day.
Tong-ung is visiting from Korea.
그냥 수영하고 있었는데 갑자기 빨려 들어가가지고 이제 발이 안다고 하니까 깜짝 놀랐어요.
So he hit you pretty hard, did he?
A day earlier, Singlets had one of the biggest shocks of his life. His 11-year-old son Noah slammed head first into a man's knee in the surf. Singlets was on duty.
I was absolutely racked with fear.
Noah was sent to hospital, but released after a series of tests.
He's okay, he's quiet and he's a little bit ginger, but yeah, he's doing well considering what he's been through. He has paraspinal bruising and a mild concussion. What are you doing?
I just playing with my phone.
Do you want any more Panadol or are you okay for now? Okay. Have you got headache at all or are you just...
No, I'm good.
Just taking it really easy. No beach today, no waves, no body surfing. Probably out of 10, you know how this morning it was a bit sore, is it?
Probably like 2.
2.
I'd have to sum up the whole experience as being the most incredibly surreal thing that's probably happened to me in my life. And the feelings of being overwhelmed, I'll never forget.
Rest up, all right?
Okay, see you, T-Ram.
See you.
Back to the sweet times, the hot nights. Everything is gonna be alright in the summertime. Baby, in the summertime.
Today, an outsider has come to Bondi, looking for a challenge.
Whatever talents we got, we were displaying. Make sure you look good, make sure you feel good, and just radiate good energy, you know what I mean? Just enjoying life, man.
Californian bodybuilder Ike Catcher is a staggering 6'9" man mountain.
Far out, look at him.
Not content pressing dumbbells, Ike prefers real-life humans.
Quite the show, isn't he?
Preferably ones wearing bikinis.
He was the biggest human I've ever seen in my life.
Another one!
Yeah, it's one big human. I should actually get some tips off the bloke because my love life's terrible. So, yeah, maybe I should put on some weight and start throwing some girls around.
I'm still alive.
The scenery.
Ike hails from Venice Beach, California, a place famous for bodybuilders. Regarding himself as the king of Venice Beach, it's only proper that Ike should meet the king of Bondi.
Hey, I'm looking for the king of Bondi!
I reckon Hoppo would have crapped himself when he saw him coming down towards him. You know, Hoppo's not small, but this guy was huge.
Here's the king of Venice Beach! Where's the king of Bondi? It must be you!
No, Bondi, I'm not taking you on.
I thought, geez, is he coming at me or is there something I've done wrong or I don't know what was going on, but he was a very, very big human being.
True royalty, I can see it!
He really looked like a mix between Hightower and the Hulk.
Part of royal etiquette deserves it, man. I have to introduce myself as the king of Venice Beach and say hi to the king of Bondi, man. You're keeping these people safe,
keeping everybody safe.
Yes, yes, yes.
All this king of Bondi talk has got tongues wagging.
I know what they're saying.
You ready, man?
Enter Harries.
I've heard that these muscly guys have turned up on Bondi Beach, and one of these guys is calling himself the king of Venice Beach. Well, does he want to meet the king of Bondi or what? There's lots of things that make you the king of Bondi. Looks, charisma, having a beautiful smile, being talented out in the ocean too, and just being a little bit of you.
Unbeknownst to Ike, Harries has him in his sights.
The plan is to get the boards out. I'm going to go straight down to the shoreline and we're going to get this on. Let's see how fit they are and let's see how their tush actually looks on the shoreline.
On a beach which swarms with thousands of people, identifying exactly who is in trouble takes a special kind of skill.
It doesn't matter how fast or strong you are, being able to see would be your #1 quality of a good lifeguard.
Mid-afternoon, and dozens of kids practice their board paddling skills at North Bondi. But amidst the crowd, 2 men are caught in a rip.
I just noticed out of the corner of my eye that there was 2 swimmers in trouble.
I was very lucky that Chapo spotted that guy, especially in between all the clubbies going in and out, you know.
Keep going, yeah?
Yeah, gotcha.
As the men continue to struggle, people around them remain oblivious.
I reckon about 100 people just paddled straight past him, eh? People are just so interested in what they're doing that they won't notice people next to them in trouble, which is fine. It's just how it is, and that's why we have to be switched on. We can never rely on anybody else to do rescues for us.
Hello guys, there's 2 swimmers. Come back in, please. Come back in to shore.
One of the men gets closer to shore, but his friend is going backwards.
I don't think I have to go to the back, Chapo.
Max passes the second swimmer who's made it safely out of the water.
Once I hit the water, I was paddling as hard as I could because I knew he was going under.
Finally, a local board paddler heads to the man.
When that lifesaver did notice him, it was a sigh of relief for me. And then the worst possible thing happened. That really escalated the situation.
Max is now the man's last hope.
This guy was really going under. I just had that tunnel vision and just get to him.
Oh, yeah, Maxi's got him.
By the time I got out to the guy, he lost all his energy and he was very close to drowning.
spotted by me. If you can't give yourself a wrap, who else is going to give you a wrap, I suppose?
Izumiziki is on holiday from Japan.
Is he okay?
No. That's good. I'm tired. Big wave. Double. I can't swim.
I do can't swim.
Earlier, Californian bodybuilder Ike Catcher came looking for the king of Bondi Beach.
Where's the king of Bondi? It must be you. King of Bondi.
Legend. Now, Harries has proposed a race to prove that he's the king of Bondi.
So we're going to do a lifeguard race. We're going to paddle the board. We're going to do a bit of swimming and a bit of running on the beach. Okay, so it's like
Ike will race Harries on his training break, running, swimming and board paddling. But has Harries bitten off more than he can chew?
Oh!
There you go.
That's what I call real steel.
Real steel.
You haven't got a cape, have you? This is a proper...
I don't want to recognize me out here, you know.
Harries plans to tip the race in his favour.
The King of Bondi wouldn't take the King of Venice Beach on if he didn't know he had the upper edge. I knew I had the upper edge on this one.
Round one. And Ike takes an early lead in the run leg.
Oh, he's got Harries on the ropes here. Come on, Harries. Don't let us down.
But how will a bodybuilder perform in the water? Round two, the board paddle.
Go, boys, go. Ooh, we've hit a bit of a snag. Oh, no, he's off. He's off the board in ankle-deep water.
He's too top-heavy. And he's too big for his own good.
To his credit, Ike makes it to the marker buoy.
Here we go. Fast as we can. Let's do it. Oh, yes. Come on, boys.
So Harries definitely took the win on that one.
It's one apiece as round three kicks off, the swim leg.
He looks pretty gassed. He's just wading out through the shore breaks.
Well, it's lucky Ike's tall because he's just waiting the whole way. I don't think he's thrown an arm over the whole time, but that's all right. He's trying his best. There we go.
He's struggling to throw him over. Hey, Sam, the big fella, did you tell him to put his hand up if he gets into trouble?
No, he'd have to walk about 4 kilometres out to actually not be standing. He'll be right.
To meet Ike and just to see this eye-catching god come down onto the beach and really give the lifeguarding race a go, I'm really proud of what he's done and come down and given it a crack.
Clear-cut win for Harries, but to be expected. That was always going to be a little bit rigged, that one.
Woo. He's given it a good crack, though. Hats off to him.
That was great. That was
perfect.
Much respect for you guys, man.
Yeah.
The race is won. Now all that's left is the coronation.
Well, they say you're the king of Venice Beach, but Harries is still the king of Bondi.
Yes! If the king of Bondi is having the best tan and the nicest teeth, Harry's got it covered.
Royalty right now!
Ike is convinced that Harries is the king of Bondi. But for the rest of the lifeguards, the true test is much more difficult.
What we have is a long tradition of a lifeguard race. It's a pretty prestigious event to win as well, you know. It's been going for 20, 30 years and it's very respected amongst the guys.
I always like to race Harries and Reidy and the boys. Today I'm going to get absolutely humiliated.
Yeah, just balls to the wall, I guess, and give it a good go.
Pressure's on.
Yeah, there's always a bit of pressure for this race.
It's carnage. It's carnage.
We're a very competitive bunch of guys.
This year, newcomer Clint Kimmins is hot favourite.
He's an absolute weapon.
Is there any pressure?
There's lots of pressure.
Professional triathlete, This is just a training session for him, so he was going to smash it, absolutely smash it.
If I'm top 3, I'll be stoked.
Another lifeguard going into the race is Mario Maffella. Originally from Italy, Mario didn't grow up at the beach.
Growing up in Rome, there's no beaches. You know, we've all been privileged to grow up around the beaches and be around the water. And so, hats off to him.
It's always been my dream to work on a beach and having life.
Brings a lot of energy down into the team. You know, he's really enthusiastic and he's super passionate about the job.
Go over there, close to shore.
I'm the only Italian ever that worked here, and I'm proud of that too. And every day I work in the best place in the world. Like, it's unreal.
Both Mario and Clint will face stiff competition from the young guns and the old guard of past winners, like Chapo.
It's a distant memory, me winning.
And the self-proclaimed king of Bondi, Harries.
Have you ever won? I've won it. Yeah.
Lifeguard versus lifeguard. Mate versus mate. Let the real King of Bondi contest begin.
You know, you've got a lot of bragging rights if you win this, and I think that's why they all go as hard as they can.
The race is a board paddle to Bronte, a swim to Tamarama, and a run back to Bondi.
Go!
The race relies on a handicap system.
Go!
The handicap system is pretty much just so it levels out the playing field. Some of the guys head off first, so hopefully you'll catch them towards the end of the race. And then hopefully everyone will be finishing at the same time.
Ready,
if the slower guys set off at the same time as the fast guys, they might be out there until the dark.
Harries, Clint and Lockie start a full 6 minutes behind the first lifeguards.
Ready, go! These are the guys that are going to win it now, this pack. It'll be probably between Clint and Harries in this little group here. They'll work together.
Within minutes, a bunch of veteran lifeguards vie for the lead.
Here we go. Got Beanie and Reidy. I got some speed on them, these two.
But it's former champion Chapo who breaks away from the pack.
My whole strategy was to go hard in the board and the swim and try and get a lead going into Tamarama.
Chapo arrives first at Bondi Beach.
Let's go, Chapo. Next wave, Chapo. Put it in. Next one.
In hot pursuit, Reidy holds second.
Can be very dangerous from here, Reidy.
Quickly, the pack closes in as the swim leg to Tamarama begins.
Swim was pretty hairy. There was a lot of rips going on, right on the rocks.
This is where tactics will come into the swim too.
Yeah, it'll make a big difference.
Yeah.
You can cut short and get caught with the waves, or you can go wider and body surf a wave in.
Waiting at Tamarama, injured lifeguard Jethro is tasked with shoe duties.
I got one hand too. Like how you're supposed to give a two-shoe job to a one-hand guy. I'm off it.
It's a tradition among lifeguards to play pranks during the race. And this year is no different.
I really want to rustle Muzz's feathers. I want to fill his shoes with sand. You're gonna blow up.
Given Mario is already in last place, it hardly seems fair.
Oh, Clipper! The favourites coming out of nowhere. Clipper and Jacko. Yeah, Jess, who was coming in first? Mate, we have Chapo, close by Reidy. Chapo's coming in first for the lifeguards, so bit of a shock.
Closing in on former champion Chapo are triathlete Clint and young gun Lockie.
Get those meat legs going, baby. Get them going, mate. Get them going. Is that far behind you?
That's the top of the leaderboard. But at the bottom,
I wonder where the Italian stallion is right now.
Oh, let's get an update.
True to Jesse, where's our little Italian friend Mario?
Silence. He's disappeared.
Mario is coming last. That's all you, brother. Let's go, Muzz.
During changeover into the run leg, Chapo can no longer hold off the young guns.
That's me. Water's done. I was winning, and now they're gone.
Clippers just run up the stairs first, Reidy second. Socky, Jacko and Chapo are on the stairs at the same time.
Okay, so it's closing up into a tight bunch. Yeah.
Here comes the Italian stallion, moving up.
While it's tough at the top, it's even tougher at the bottom.
Look at this. This bastard. That bastard. Off, Jeff.
He had to do a little bit of deconstruction of the sandcastles when he got back to Tama.
Oh, I found the sandcastles here. Jeff.
At Bondi, the finish line is finally in sight.
I can see them. They're coming down the hill now. Good work, mate. Outstanding. Good work. 29.55 for Clint.
Race favourite Clint takes line honours.
I just try and put in 100% at everything I do.
Closely followed by Reidy.
Finish strong, no one behind you. Beautiful.
And young gun Lockie.
Yeah, Lockie.
Yeah, Lockie.
Awesome. Well done, boy.
As the pack streams in, Harries takes 5th.
32.13.
And former champion Chapo holds on for 9th.
Yeah, chaps. Big board leg, baby. Big board leg. Could have gone that.
8 minutes after the winner. One more lifeguard is yet to cross.
Yeah, the Italian! Fortuny! Mario 38.25.
All right, everyone, it's another great race, another year gone by.
In all honesty, it felt really good to get the title in my first year. People talk about my fitness, so I at least wanted to put my money where my mouth is, so to speak, and hopefully get a good win.
The race may be over, but the controversy continues.
I just want to say something.
Yes, you do.
I got to Tama first. So I technically won the water events.
That's just classic Chapo, really. He'll take what he can get.
So, with 3 different claims on the crown, who really rules over Bondi?
They can all say what they want, but ring-a-ding-ding, Hoppo is still the king.
Take me back to the sweet times, the hot nights. Everything is gonna be alright in the summertime. Baby, in the summertime, that is where I'll be.
One nationality has created a New Year's tradition at Bondi.
In the Netherlands, we have a tradition to do the New Year's dive. So all the Dutch people will dive in the sea.
Okay, Hollanders, zijn we er een beetje klaar voor?
Yeah, in the Netherlands it's really cold, so it's just a big deal to go in the sea with minus 10 degrees or something. And here it's nice because it's nice weather.
Dutch tourists first started this Bondi tradition 5 years ago with just a handful of people. Today, it's a major event.
The Dutch turnout this year was the biggest I've seen by far. There's probably 500 or so came down this year. Berkey, who's about as Aussie as you get, thought he'd introduce them to a bit of Australian culture. And if you've ever been to an Australian game of cricket, you know about the old slow clap.
Yeah.
I was hyped. I loved it. Controlling a crowd is so... I just want to be like a performer now.
That was mad. I'm full head.
So what do a horde of Dutch revellers look like in full flight?
and start doing this kind of stuff. Where's the Aussies' turn?
For many international travellers, a swim at Bondi soon becomes an encounter with lifeguards.
I personally think about 80% of the people we do rescue are international visitors.
Il y a certaines personnes qui sont venues qui nous ont proposé de l'aide.
突然没有办法动，脚没有办法动。
خیلی خطرناکه. دیگه این کارو نمی‌کنم.
Some people come all the way to Australia and they come from landlocked countries. They've probably never seen the ocean.
Often, it's the newest arrivals at Bondi that give lifeguards the biggest surprises.
Crazy. Only at Bondi. Only at Bondi.
I couldn't believe it. Had thongs on, you know. Obviously in New Zealand we call them jandals. The couple were from China, clearly didn't have much experience from the beach.
Why do you wear your shoes in the water? You don't mean to go far. I've never seen that before. I've never seen no one wear their shoes in the water. That's unbelievable.
I thought I've seen a bit, but yeah, that's up there.
That's so funny.
Seen from above, rips are clearly visible channels of deep water flowing away from shore. From the beach, they take expert eyes to identify.
That's when I noticed that there was a guy who was not good at all. At this time, it was more serious than the last one.
That might be out here again, Hop. Just off the flag. Yeah, copy, mate.
As I'm getting closer, you know, I'm realising how dangerous this current situation is.
Desperate for air, the man pushes another swimmer underwater.
When it's a life or death situation, people's morals, they just go out the window. He's trying to save his own life.
The Good Samaritan rescuer drifts away, an unsung hero.
So I'm trying to overcome that language barrier by being stern, showing them that I've got control of the situation.
As the man's partner sobs on the back of the board, Harrison enlists the help of a local surfer.
You got to understand from their point of view, they think they're having the best day of their lives when it suddenly can go wrong.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Your boyfriend's a big boy. Come on, mate.
With danger averted, Korean woman G is much more relaxed.
I thought I was almost dead, and the guys who rescued us, he came and then he helped me. Yeah, I'm safe. I feel so safe. Oh, I can't stand,
Harrison hopes this sends a message to any future Bondi visitors.
Any international traveller coming to Bondi, just check in with the lifeguards. Ask a local, ask people on the beach if you're not sure. It could save your life.
Some of Bondi's international visitors are more than just backpackers looking for a good time. In the off-season, Prince Harry and his new wife Meghan made a royal visit.
They're really interested in engaging in what we do on the beach, and it's quite humbling that Harry watches Bondi Rescue.
You know, when I was a kid down there doing nippers and that, I'd never imagined that a couple of people living in a palace that would be actually sitting there watching TV with me on it, watching what I do as a job, and actually be entertained by that.
Today, another famous fan of the lifeguards is in town. US comedian and talk show host Conan O'Brien has come to find out what it takes to be a Bondi lifeguard.
We came to Australia yesterday to shoot one of my travel shows. I like to put myself in situations where I don't belong, and I definitely don't belong in the same class as these men. How are you? Good to see you. Conan, what's your name? Ethro.
Whippet, nice to meet you, mate.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, I've watched a bit of Conan O'Brien over the years. I know he's a very funny human being, and I was looking forward to seeing if he's as funny in real life as he is on television.
I'm gonna need a nickname.
Yeah. Phantom pants?
What's that?
Like red hair in your pants?
Red hair in my pants? Fanny pants?
Phantom pants.
Phantom pants.
Mate, I'd probably base one off the size of you.
Size, I'm a big guy, right?
Yeah. Big red.
Big red?
Call you
red, ready?
It will be red if you stay in the sun much longer.
I've been in this sun for about 6 minutes, and I smell like a freshly cooked ham.
What are your thoughts of Bondi?
Yeah. It's fantastic. You got, it's beautiful, beautiful people. You know, they look amazing.
Oh, stop it.
What's that? You're I'm very attracted to you. Do you like Thai food?
I love Thai.
All right.
We got
a
glass of red?
Yeah, maybe 2 glasses.
Stop it.
Yes.
Yeah, mate, I'm always looking to hook up with a big celebrity, so I'm not going to waste an opportunity like this.
So, guys, I didn't come here just to screw around. What I'm curious about is I'd like to be a lifeguard.
Yeah, well, it takes years to become a lifeguard.
They said I didn't have what it takes. And then they asked me to leave. They said I was embarrassing them by just standing near them.
It takes a whole lifetime of being in the ocean and getting comfortable in all types of conditions.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you something, I think that's bullshit. I don't have that kind of time. I've got about an hour. So...
Hey, I can make you look like David Hasselhoff in an hour.
Oh, my God, really?
I'll be your Pamela.
Okay, settle down, you. If I can't learn how to be a lifeguard, I'd like to just get a nice montage out of this. A good-looking Bondi Rescue montage. You think we could do that?
Yeah, for sure. We can do it.
Yeah, it's not something I always practice at home, but, when you're at Bondi Beach, why not do a bit of a slow-mo?
Not content with a slow-motion jog, Conan's lifeguarding dream includes finding action in the water.
He brought his own rescue board down. He wanted to go out, so he said, why not, mate? You might as well go and have a go.
It may be his first time on a rescue board, but Conan bravely heads straight for Backpackers Rip.
If he can hold on to his board, it'll pretty much be the ultimate tour of backpackers. Straight out, wash back in.
Oh, he's broke. He's gone. Oh.
Conan is famous for his funny lines. But in the ocean, there's no script. Fortunately, Conan's physique is his saving grace.
Oh, he's lucky he's 6'5" because he can stand on that sandbank. He's in a rip and standing.
Conan has survived the rip. Now, can he survive the waves?
Let's see how he goes coming back in with this few waves.
Oh my God, go.
Go.
Oh.
He's done well.
Yeah, he's going to get one in.
Yeah, this one maybe.
Go. Oh. That's a heavy rinse. He's off it.
When he got back to shore, he was exhausted, and I think he definitely started to get an understanding of how dangerous the ocean can be and the type of power that the water has.
It's clear that lifeguarding can't be learned in a matter of minutes.
That is scary. I feel like that's one of those things you need to start doing as a kid.
Yeah, you need to as a kid. You gotta have a crack. You gotta give it one go.
Thank you so much.
No worries. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
No worries.
It's great.
Really good guy. Thank you.
I'll kill you.
Thanks for coming down and visiting.
Thanks for having me. This was fantastic. It's nice. Thanks for putting up with me.
A little bit of training in the off-season, you'll be on full-time.
No one in the States puts up with me as much as you guys do, so thank you. You're very big-hearted.
Earlier, Singlets treated Andrea from New York after she dislocated her knee whilst rollerblading. Today, word has come back on Andrea's condition.
Just been on my lunch break and just going through my emails and got quite a nice surprise, an email from Andrea. And yeah, nice little video message from her.
Hello, Singlets and Berkey. Do you remember the space at all? Perhaps not. Dislocated knee, maybe might ring a bell. I just wanted to say thank you so much for the The rescue. Thank you for the rescue.
Drugs.
You guys were so quick on scene. I had a very grueling 26-hour flight back to New York. The following day, actually, which would not have been possible without you guys.
So surprised that you'd be able to fly the next day to, New York.
And we'll hopefully be rollerblading in the near future. Again, thank you and good day, mate.
Oh, shuckers.
Nice, shuckers, yeah.
Well done, singles.
All right. It'd be nice to have a little friend in New York.
You can see her location. It popped up there on the video.
Yeah.
It shows exactly where it is. It's a little bit creepy, but...
Destination. It's a destination. We might just rock up on her doorstep one day, hey, go, remember us?
It showed the location.
Back to the sweet times, the hot nights. Everything is gonna be alright in the summertime. Baby, in the summertime, that is where...
The humid weather and cold water have created a dense sea mist.
Look at it now.
All I could think of was the movie The Mist, where all the monsters come out of the mist. I thought I was going to get eaten alive by something.
Water too cold, no sun. You understand me?
When you're in the car park, you can't see any of the ocean.
So unusual. I've never had this.
We can just see the middle set of flags.
If lifeguards can't see a person in trouble, then they can't rescue them.
Simple run-of-the-mill rescue becomes 10 times harder,
I could just see like this shadow through the mist of like a person in trouble.
30 seconds after pulling one man out of troubled waters, Clint is straight back in the ocean for a woman who's barely visible from the tower.
You can see the fog, how heavy it is. You must swim between the red and yellow flags.
But as quickly as it arrived, the mist also begins to clear. And that makes Jethro and Berkey very happy.
Me and Berkey, we're wordsmiths. We like to make music.
The mist brings everything to me, hurrah! The mist brings everything to me, hurrah!
Once the mist disappeared, it was like a wave of relief came over me and Berkey.
It's a mystery!
Mystery! Mystery! Mystery!
Yeah, it was good to have a bit of fun.
But the relief is short-lived.
Bondi Lifeguards, Michael speaking.
There was a report that someone had jumped off the cliff around the back of Ben Buckler.
I need a definite position because I'm looking at Bondi cliffs now. Everyone's just sunbaking.
There wasn't a lot of information. It wasn't too detailed, so I was a little bit sceptical.
Mate, I'll just put some water and get an hour what's happened.
Regardless of what my gut instinct is, I've got to take it serious because worst case scenario, someone's gone off the cliff and they're dead at the bottom of the cliff.
I'll get ready now.
Jesse has previously dealt with several cliff-based emergencies.
It's not something that you forget overnight. All his face is bleeding really bad too. I can still remember what the first person was wearing on the first retrieval I went to.
Tim, what about his other hand? Pass the other hand. No, his other hand. The other hand.
It sticks with you. I want to put someone with a little bit of inexperience with him just so they can learn from the situation. Who we got down in front, number one there? Jack.
Mouse decides to pair Jesse with new recruit Jack.
When I saw Jesse running down with an extra wetsuit top, I was like, oh no.
Every second counts. Clint is tasked with launching the jet ski.
Yeah, South Buggy, just come up quick, guys. We might have a job on, Suicide?
I don't know, they're launching the ski, I think.
The police are on the way there now, I can hear them. This person's life is now in my hands. If I get there quick, they've got every chance of surviving.
Come this way, please.
It's very important to launch that jet ski properly. Clint, that day couldn't have launched us any better. Yeah, mate, they're talking about the corner of Bay Street and Hastings Parade.
first thing that's going through my mind, you know, it's part of the job and I got to do it, but I am still new down here.
Do you want me to go up there with any equipment?
I was stoked that they kind of had the confidence in me to go out there and get the job done.
Nah, not at this stage. We'll just stand by, see what Jess comes up with.
Copy, mate.
Where we went was eerie. I knew Jack was capable, but this is like the top of the food chain in rescues for us. We could see everyone on the cliff, and I was like, this isn't good.
Hey, now we've located the police. We can't see the body.
Yeah, mate, I've got a number of the informants, so just stand by. I'll give them a quick call.
And then all of a sudden...
Hey, I got him!
This guy just pops out from behind a rock.
Yeah, right, what's his state?
I was in shock.
Hey, are you alright?
Jesse, what state's he in, mate?
The guy's alive.
How did this guy just survive this jump?
Bring him back here as quick as possible, I reckon.
I don't know if he swam, jumped, but I've never seen anyone around that far.
I'm gonna send my lifeguard mate in to get ya!
I just climbed up on the rocks and I said, are you okay? Are you okay? What's happened?
Jesse, what state's he in, mate?
He goes, oh, nothing. I'm just come here for a swim.
Yeah, copy, mate.
This bloke had just walked around the rocks. It was obviously a huge relief.
Yeah, let's get him on ski and back here.
But then a massive southerly coming up the coast.
The helicopter and that want to go before it's windy.
And wind out on the water just makes things 100 times more difficult.
You know, we had this southerly coming in, so we know we needed to move quickly. There was waves crashing up against the rocks where he was.
It's not just the man who needs rescuing.
We had to get his back on the ski because he's worried about his phone getting damaged.
I knew the southerly was coming, but this guy thought he was totally fine and he was just going to walk back. So he's refusing to get on the jet ski. It was just...
Jesse moves the jet ski even closer.
I had the jet ski at one stage literally centimetres away from the rocks. 100 things could happen.
Finally, the man agrees to take the plunge. The question still remains, what was the man doing so far around the cliffs?
The patient on the ski. Jack's on the mat with him now. He's going to come straight in front of the tower. Copy, Jesse. We'll be waiting for you.
Philip Pappas, originally from Greece, is bewildered by the fuss.
Someone think you jump off the cliff.
No, I didn't. Really?
Look, all these helicopters here now are here for you.
Really?
We think that someone jumped off the cliff.
I have no idea. It does walk almost there.
Mate, you want to jump in? Right here. We had the Westpac helicopter, we had the toll helicopter, police flying down Queen Elizabeth Drive. Everybody here for this one person that didn't know what he had done.
They were looking for someone, I don't know. I have no idea, yeah.
There's great relief as Philip walks away unharmed. But the next day, the rescue chopper is back in the same spot.
At about 10:30, the police helicopter just started hovering there.
This helicopter keeps coming here, Hop. Bring Juicy now. Oh, they're taking someone home.
The first thing that come straight to my mind was me and Jack missed it.
That's the body there.
They windshield?
No, it's on the side. The snake's on the side of the chopper. It's
They haven't picked it up, have they?
No, they stay over there.
I didn't look on the rocks because the guy was there, you know. I could have saved that person's life.
But when police call the tower, the story takes another turn.
The police station had said that there had been a suicide.
Do you reckon that's linked to anything yesterday?
But the actual person that they were winching had jumped that day, not the day before.
Hey. New one, yeah. I don't know if they must have watched him jump this morning, but she was like, nah, he definitely jumped this morning this way.
It is eerie that someone jumped in the exact same spot as the report was the day before.
She goes, this 100% was today.
But obviously at the same time, it's a relief that we didn't miss it. Unfortunately, people do this and feel sorry for them and their families because it's an illness.
Lifeguards have been patrolling Bondi Beach for over 100 years. Techniques and equipment continuously evolve. One lifeguard strives to be at the forefront of this evolution.
Since I started as a lifeguard, I was always interested in getting to a rescue a lot easier. The first thing that I introduced was a small lifeguard tower to the northern end. I introduced a winch on the front of the Can-Am. I was actually the first one to trial a CPR machine called the Lucas.
I can vouch for the Lucas device. As a former paramedic, I know that that device is an important piece of kit for paramedics nationwide.
Not all of Harry's new devices have made the cut.
Now, Harry's always coming up with ideas, and some are good and some are out there wacky.
There was a board that had a motor in it.
That device is a winner.
He's got a gadget for literally everything, for sharks.
Whatever it takes to preserve human life.
For the road, for walking.
None of them have worked.
Stretching.
I wouldn't be surprised if before you know it, we're all out in submarines.
He's relentless.
For Harry's, the cogs are always turning.
Lifeguarding is about being dynamic. It's about being innovative in the job that you do. And every year we try and test a new device. And having a bike like this, you'll be able to weevil your way through the crowd a lot quicker.
Harry's is peddling the idea that electric bikes are faster and more efficient than the buggies.
It's just much more agile, not as loud, and you can get to rescues a whole lot quicker.
However, the veteran innovator has his skeptics.
What do you reckon, Jess?
I haven't seen too many push bikes on Bondi Beach. Yeah, I don't know.
Good to see if it works.
Can't wait.
I suppose the jury's out still because I don't know how it goes on the soft sand, might go okay on the hard.
Out to prove a point, Harry's has challenged Jackson to a race.
I've got my baby seats in for my kids, of course. We're going to put the defib in it to kind of simulate how you could do this on a bike and get it off quite quickly to save a life. It's a really good day to test the bike because there's not many people on the beach and there's a strong southerly blowing. We're going to race.
Yep.
Bike versus buggy.
From the middle of the beach down to the northern end. You think I'm a nut? I'm not crazy, by the way.
At the starting line, Harry's confidence is unshaken.
I know for a fact that you can move the bike a lot quicker. See how fast I can actually go with pedal power.
It's going to be funny.
Go!
It was pretty funny watching him race Jackson.
I could manoeuvre between the people quite easy. I didn't put anyone at danger, but the Can-Am went a little faster.
So, bike versus buggy, what is the verdict?
Not bad. I just got you in the end, but you was quicker than I thought you would be.
The technology isn't quite there yet. We need to refine it just a little more before I introduce it to the lifeguards saving lives. But I know for a fact, into the future, that we will have electric bikes down here.
I don't think anyone would trade the buggy for the bike.
He could be a closet genius,
How are you?
but he's hiding that very well.
Everyone else is paying for parking out there, ladies and gentlemen. Harry's is going for a ride on the beach. Come ride with me, come ride away. Da, 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 da. Hey, down.
Experiment over. It doesn't take long for the lifeguard buggy to prove its worth in a real situation.
Chapo, Sam and myself are all in the tower observing a spot that's not bad but could be bad.
Your undies? Where? You want someone that?
Veteran lifeguard Chapo is joined by first-year lifeguard Sam.
We just jumped straight in the buggy and went.
That's an absolute survival stroke at its finest. They were panicking, trying to get in, unable to get in. That's just like fighting.
We're in for sure. Go for the right-hand side. I'll go the left-hand side, okay? Where's the board?
With only one board on the buggy, Chapo must drop Sam off.
You go first, I'll go get a board.
Then go for another board.
Oh, wait, hold.
But then the women seem to be making progress.
They're kind of floating. I'm in the tower with binoculars with a zoom-in view of them just kind of cruising and floating in this rip.
Calm, girls. Big swimming.
Next second, panic. And, you know, panic can go to all sorts of bad places.
She might not be all right, eh? Definitely go for a paddle.
Chapo said grab the one on the right.
Yeah, Sam's going in. I'm just going to get another board.
Yeah, I'll keep my eye on them.
A surfer sees the trouble unfolding.
A surfer came along and floated one of the girls, so I thought, oh, thank goodness she's out of trouble. Sam can get the other girl now. Yeah, that one girl's horrific. And Sam paddled past the girl in dire straits. And went for the girl that was already being floated by the surfer. What are you doing? Yeah, Chapo, can you go?
But Chapo is still 100 metres up the beach.
The other girl was literally drowning.
Even though she was being held up by a surfer, she was unresponsive.
All right, if we're going to get our legs, on the floor, we're going to lie down really good.
She's taken on a lot of water, and yeah, I wasn't getting much response at all.
Hey, you there?
100 metres up the beach, Chapo has collected a second rescue board.
Sam's grabbed one girl, but quickly go.
Yeah, I'm on my way. I've got a good visual on her. I know she's struggling. Just hold up.
I was 100% confident that I made the right choice.
I'll get there.
Especially when you've got someone as capable as Chapo backing you up.
Copy. Mate.
The woman must hang on for just a few seconds more.
Hold on, sweetie, hold on.
Friends from Western Sydney, Claudia and Alicia, are now with lifeguards. But their condition is poor.
Okay, we're going to have to break this boat.
Lots of waves coming. She was not really moving at all. I just wanted to kind of keep her close and just keep telling her it's going to be okay. She was in and out of consciousness and she was pretty limp.
Hey, Sam. Is she all right?
Alicia is too weak to walk to the buggy for assessment.
She had taken in a lot of water, so sort of the next 5 to 10 minutes were just pretty critical.
Okay, sweetie. What we're going to do is we're going to give you some oxygen.
Put the oxygen mask on her and just try and keep her calm.
Yeah, good girl.
That's it. Just take your time.
This woman's day could have been very different.
Seem like you've come around all right.
I don't think an ambulance is necessary.
No, I don't think so either.
It was worry because I knew that I couldn't keep it up for much longer. I was a very strong swimmer. I was definitely worried for her. I was like, oh my God, help her. I was just like help. My head hurts a lot, but happy to be safe on solid ground.
In the tower, the situation becomes clearer to Jules.
That was, really well done. The fact that Sam went for the girl that was being floated by the surfer in the tower, that confused me, but Sam was right there and then, and he did the right thing.
All good. You just went from announcement to get them out of the water, and before we knew it, it was a potential resus. So it was pretty scary. It's pretty full on. It just shows how quickly it can all change.
Take me back to the sweet times, the hot nights. Everything's gonna be alright in the summertime. Baby, in the summertime, that is where I'll be.
At Bondi, there's no shortage of challenges awaiting new recruits.
You got a hand up?
In the south corner, 2 swimmers are held up by a volunteer lifesaver. The man is covered in a generous layer of sunscreen.
Could not, for the life of him, get him on my board. So slippery. I knew the boys were watching on the beach and I panicked.
As a paid professional lifeguard, it's Luke's responsibility to get the patient to shore.
Saw the clubbies drive by in a rubber ducky and, you know, passed him on.
Oh, Fatty.
That's so heavy, mate.
He's given in. He gave him to the IRV.
As soon as I've done that, I realised I'd made a pretty big mistake.
He's going to hit straight for that.
What the hell? Tell him when he hits the beach, he has to speak to the boss. First rule of Lifeguard Club, never hand a patient over to anyone, and especially the poor volunteer that's donating his time.
Yeah, it was harsh, but probably deserving. I made a mistake and it's a pretty fair punishment, I think.
He's got his tail between his legs, I can see it now.
Veteran lifeguard Harries is willing to retrieve Luke from the shoreline.
It's so slippery. That was horrendous.
But that's where the generosity ends.
I know people are going to be slippery when wet, but they've got to stick to the board sometimes.
I don't have to say it, I know. Unbelievable. It's tough love down here. I've got nothing to say. I've got nothing to say.
On the lifeguards to Bondi Patrol, I just want to thank you for that rescue you guys did down the southern end of the beach. Our poor lifeguards died. Copy, guys. Thank you.
Short and sweet.
The key thing here is Luke did make a small stuff up. That's okay. We all make little stuff ups being lifeguards out there. It's human nature. The most important thing is having those older lifeguards like myself to help them and mentor them.
Get your breath back, monitor, review. If you're not assessing, you're only guessing, young man.
He's gotten that through to me now, but yeah, I don't think I'll ever live it down, to be honest.
Mid-afternoon, and a volunteer lifesaver approaches the lifeguard tower.
Yeah, hello. Okay, where? Oh, I can see that. Yeah,
Straight away, we grab our medikit and we go down to check out what's happening.
Trapo, he's conscious, he's breathing, he's just sort of mid-fit. I'm going to have a look if he's got any medication for it.
When we have patients having episodes, our primary adjustment for them is their own care. Depending on the severity of them, they can last from 30 seconds or a substantial amount of time.
Right there, Alex?
Alex came to the beach with some fellow backpackers he's only recently met.
He hasn't been drinking alcohol, no drugs, no nothing today.
A bit hungover.
That's about it. Yeah.
Any number of triggers can cause a seizure.
Have you guys seen him eat anything today?
If you got a coffee,
Yeah. All right.
The clubbies are getting an ambo now.
Seizures occur when nerve cells fire more rapidly than usual, momentarily acting like an electrical disturbance in the brain.
It was confronting, you know. He bit his tongue, there was a lot of fluid, he was thrashing around. Yeah, we just got to really monitor him, make sure his airway's clear.
Seizures which last longer than 5 minutes are classified as a medical emergency.
He's just probably biting on his tongue or his lip.
Alex's seizure has now been going for 10 minutes.
I'll take the head if you want. I have come across episodes like this that have lasted a substantial amount of time, and when they do, you basically can cook yourself and cause some major neurological damage. Got to really monitor him, make sure his airway's clear.
Yeah, and he just goes through it, doesn't he?
That's the really
he's going through it more now.
You right there, Alex? Not much we can do.
Try and relax.
Lifeguards have limited experience in treating cases like this.
Unfortunately, we're not doctors, we're not paramedics. We can just turn up and be that first responder until the paramedics come.
The seizure has now been going for 15 minutes.
Basically, with episodes like this, they can lead into brain damage. I know it's crucial that the paramedics turn up or this guy's in serious danger.
As Beardy holds out for the ambulance, the seizure has now been going for 30 minutes.
Now that this is the sleep stage of it, the body's in absolute survival fight mode.
Finally, relief seems to be in sight as the convulsions ease.
When the patient starts showing signs that he is coming through the episode, it is a little bit of a relief, but I know from experience that it's very crucial to keep monitoring the vital signs, monitoring the airway. How are you?
How going?
Paramedics arrive to find an awake but confused and disoriented patient.
Alex, do you remember what I told you my name was before? Alex?
It's almost like hitting restart on a computer. There's a bit of a time to reboot the system and work out what's going on.
We just got some oxygen on for you, Alex.
In his dazed condition, Alex resists the paramedics.
So just let him go for a second. Okay. You got his arm there? Yeah, okay. Clear that off. All right.
Do you want us to straighten him down?
Yep. All right, as best we can.
Okay, I'll get his thing nice and tight.
1, 2, 3. All right, go head first.
Unfortunately, strapping him to the board so he doesn't injure himself is crucial.
Everything's under control. All right. We just got you on a board just to get you off the beach, all right? Everything's okay, you're not in trouble. Okay, we're just trying to look after you.
Unfortunately, when we were loading Alex into the ambulance, he was slipping back into this episode.
Finish straight down, keep going.
But it was good to see him go off and receive the advanced care that he needs. We don't often hear about the outcome of patients we treat, but hopefully Alex is doing okay and he's continuing on his trip around Australia.
Just make sure you stay right in the middle of the flag.
At the south end, a 2-metre swell is supercharging a narrow rip beside the rocks.
That rip's raging. You know, you put a non-swimmer down there today, we have big problems.
This is the trickiest place on the beach to perform a Bondi rescue. And not for the faint-hearted.
Do you see swimmers here, guys? Let's start making our way in. You are swimming in a very dangerous area.
One of Bondi's newest recruits, Sam Fleeting, patrols the south end with Baggis, an experienced lifeguard returning after time away.
That was interesting, mate. They just went,
yeah.
Spotting a man in the danger zone, Baggis tasks young Sam with the job.
Big Sammy's in here, boy.
Okay, Boppy, where are you going to the south corner?
In the deep south.
Yeah, I gotcha. Hard to see from here. Yeah, go boys.
Within seconds, the rip gives Sam an express ticket over 100 metres out to the man.
Yeah, he's going out really well there, huh? Far out. Good rescue.
Getting back in won't be so easy.
And you're in a strong rip. You got rocks, big wall, big waves. So it's a tricky spot to do a rescue.
Hey, mate, how's it going?
Dutch tourist Stefan never expected this when he went for a swim at Bondi.
Yeah, you can see it was dangerous, and for someone who's never been there, it's pretty scary.
Get on the board, get on the board, get on.
Suddenly, a huge set wave looms up. Within seconds, Sam and his patient are ricocheted from the deep water of the rip into the shallow water alongside Bondi Iceberg's pool.
Lie down on it. Right, lie down.
The rip's kind of taking you away from the beach, closer to the rocks. So you have to make a decision whether to paddle out and around or a really long paddle back to the sand, or sometimes you have to take on the rocks and go up the rocks with the patient.
Never before has a first-year lifeguard chosen to go up the rocks.
He's going up the rocks, huh?
Well, pretty much from the paddle out, I knew the rip was just insane. And I was either we paddle against the rip for 15 minutes or we just take our chances, give it a go and go straight up those rocks. And I thought, why not? Better now than never. The rocks kind of opened up and we just slotted it straight in there. It was unreal.
Yeah, that was good. He got out there quick. It's definitely not what I'd expect a young guy to do at all. Anytime you're dealing with rocks, it can be really dangerous if you don't have the right technique. Marks out of 10. We're never going to give them a 10 straight up. We'll give him a 7.
Well, mate, see you later. All good, enjoy your day.
Dutch tourist Stefan has no idea he's been rescued by a first-year lifeguard.
I just waved at him and it was all relaxed. He was like, "Hey mate, how are you doing?" And just jump on the board and let's go. And I said, okay, let's go.
Nice one. Yeah, I thought you were going to get hammered. The reef was perfect.
Yeah, I think I've just got a lot of confidence in myself because I grew up in the water. I guess I'm not really scared by it, so I can kind of make those decisions and just back what I've made.
Once again, guys, if you turn around and look at the beach, you'll see a big bright yellow sign that says dangerous current, no swimming.
2 p.m. And Bondi is a lethal combination of huge crowds, powerful surf, and turbocharged rips. The rescue count continues to rise, and Chapo helps navigate the melee.
And so you scan every other single rip just to make sure they're sweet. That rescue's being done in that area there, which is fantastic, so that's under control. So you've got to teach them. We've got a whole beach to look after, and it's basically about scanning from one end to the other all the time.
4 p.m. and the rescue count is 43 and climbing. In the middle of the beach, new recruit Jack monitors a young boy.
Yeah, Jack, I don't know if okay is the right word, just stay on him.
Yeah, I don't think okay is the right word either.
The boy shows worrying signs.
Guys, these people in front of me, come back in. It's not a safe place to swim.
But you can just hold and see him in. I don't reckon you'll have to get wet.
If you need to swim, needs to be between the red and yellow flags over there.
Closer to shore, the boy joins a small girl who leaves the water as Jack continues his roving patrol. 20 minutes later, Wally spots the next person that needs help. It's the same girl Jack saw earlier.
Well, can you just make your way to the south side of the flag?
One buggy is unoccupied as Jake performs a rescue alone. The other buggy is 400 metres away at the north end.
Yeah.
Me, eh?
There you go.
You know, I bolted from the tower. Otherwise, that kid drowns. To lose a kid would be just devastating.
A child can drown in seconds. But as Chappo closes in on the terrified girl, he's beaten to the rescue.
Yeah, brother to the rescue.
Well done. Very good, my friend. Saved up.
11-year-old Kion has had the fright of her life.
Kids are just completely vulnerable in the ocean, and you don't take any risk with them at all, and you've got to watch them at all times. Myself, I won't take my eyes off my kid near the water. Had we not seen her or her brother not seen her, it would have been a completely different story.
Distraught, but safely back on the beach,
I think I will be there.
Kion joins Mum and Dad, who are oblivious to the near drowning.
Yeah, no problem.
Is she okay?
Yeah, she's okay. Strong, she's strong.
This is just what we deal with down here. With so much ignorance down here, people blowing it off like that makes me pretty mad. When I actually think about it, it's, you know, it is life and death. And yeah, I don't know, do you call that stupidity or just ignorance? I don't know.
7 p.m. After 53 rescues and 13 hours working in 30-degree heat, it's time for pack-up.
Oh, he got me yesterday too. Now, typically we just give one last scan of the beach, particularly on the problem areas that we had during the day.
Hang on, hold.
We noticed that we had a problem.
Dumb guy's got him on a surfboard.
Swimming outside of patrol hours is a huge risk. Earlier this summer, a group of Chinese students went swimming after hours. One man could not be resuscitated.
Just get back.
We've given announcements down there, you know, lifeguards going home for the day, please do not swim in this rip.
Today, just a few minutes more, and this could have been fatal.
Well, yeah, that's the whole thing, you know, if we turn our heads or if it's 2 minutes later, the danger is that the whole family drowns. The last thing we need to do is go home after, you know, working our butts off and having people drown in the same rips that we were patrolling for 13 hours. So it's just frustrating, you know.
And just anyone who can hear me down here, just seriously, like, this bird nearly got 5 people. You can't swim, don't go in the water. That's most probably the best thing. So guys, seriously, you can't swim, don't go in the water.
It's a lucky escape for the 3 family members, all visitors from China.
Sorry, I'm not normally that angry. I'll leave here. Normally I'm pretty happy. Glad you're okay.
You are very, very friendly, and I love you, and everything.
Despite his frustration, Chappo does one more rescue. Thankfully, the only thing he's retrieving now is a bodyboard.
Back to the sweet times, the hot nights. Everything is gonna be alright in the summertime. Baby, in the summertime, that is where I'll be.
Early afternoon, the crowd swells to 30,000. Will watches backpackers rip in the south.
I didn't know where the boys were on the beach. I just went into full rescue mode. It was in a situation where you look at where people are not going to make it very far, and the only place they're going to go is down.
Real, where is that?
The man is in Backpackers Rip and close to the surf zone.
Once I got through the crowd, I realised that the other buggy with the boys was closer.
Jackson has 150 metres to cover to reach the man.
The hardest part in surf like that is when you're going over the waves, you don't know where they're going to be. If he's going to be completely under or one hand's going to be up.
A surfer hears the man's cries for help.
Come on, man. You right? Yes, mate.
Matthew is from Parramatta, 30 kilometres inland.
There's a good spot in there by Will.
I was just so happy that Jacko got to him and, you know, he was safe.
I just got caught in a rip. Oh yeah, it was bloody terrifying. Didn't want to drown.
Bondi may not be his backyard, but Matthew knows one important rule of the beach.
Yeah, I just remember, you know, if you're in trouble and you're at the beach with your arm in the air.
A lot of heads in the water. For someone to drown whilst I'm working, that would be devastating. That's our worst fear.
2 p.m. The beach seems to be under control.
It's all pretty friendly down there.
But at Bondi, things can change in an instant.
You know, one of the traps when the rips are quite dangerous is all the attention goes on where the rips are.
Maybe let's go on the other side a little bit and push them in now.
It's quite important for lifeguards to observe the flags throughout the day. You know, it's not a guarantee that you're safe if you swim between the flags.
It's pretty safe. Pretty. Oh.
Yeah, it seems a lot safer up here now, doesn't it?
Sort of. Just a reminder.
Yeah, just these swimmers in front of me here. Guys, just push back between those red and yellow flags for me, please.
Oh my god. Oh,
Is it?
That's on South Canam to Central. Unconscious, out of order. We just trust out what happened.
A lifeless swimmer is being dragged from the water by members of the public.
Straight away, I'm preparing for a resus.
Just over on this take, Mum. I'll get it.
We're going to come and grab the thief here. He's going to run it down to us.
Defibrillators are used to resuscitate people by sending an electrical charge to the heart.
Where are they?
I know where they are. North of the flag.
By a bit unconscious, do you mean he is unconscious or he's just fading in and out?
We need to get that defib so we can get it back to the boys on the water's edge.
Yeah, go this way,
Righto, mate, will do.
This guy had a bit of water coming out of his mouth. His eyes were closed and he was unconscious.
Lifeguards quickly assess the man to see if CPR is necessary.
He did have a pulse and he was only just breathing by himself. So with the bag mask, we were giving him 100% oxygen. Reach out, come on, mate. Reach out.
Drag him up a bit more. Get him out the water.
Take that, across. Take that.
Come up to the dry sand.
The man was pulled from the water between the flags.
Can you bring that oxy back over?
The flags are normally the safest part of the beach.
Is there anything we should know about? No?
How we didn't see this?
What caused the man's near-death experience?
This is my whole cramped up. I didn't see him. When the guy started coming around, we found out that he had actually got really bad cramp in his legs and he just couldn't even swim. He just went under. We're gonna grab a therapy. Okay, we're just gonna change mask, right? Here it goes.
Akka is from Western Sydney and was swimming with friends.
We were out swimming, we were about close to 100 metres out. Just got a leg cramp and just started panicking. Had to pull him back in shore.
Akka, does he have any medical conditions, anything? The biggest concern for Akka is secondary drowning.
The water Aka has swallowed could inflame his lungs and stop oxygen passing back into his bloodstream.
We don't know how much water he swallowed. Our recommendation is get an ambulance down here, get checked out.
That, mate? What's that? No ambulance. No ambulance.
Aka said to us that he didn't want an ambulance. At the time, still didn't think it was a good idea. You know, it takes nothing for an ambulance to come down, check them out.
The better, eh?
Lifeguards can't force people into an ambulance.
But we managed to convince them to stay with us for another 10, 15 minutes just to make sure.
We're just going to get them off the beach away from everyone.
Aka may not want an ambulance, but secondary drowning remains a concern.
It's always in the back of your mind was, you know, we would have loved for him to go to hospital just for a peace of mind. But yeah.
It's essential lifeguards assess Aka further.
Do you want to breathe normally? We try, yeah? Okay. Just relax. Okay. Big pause on here. Yeah.
To measure the oxygen levels in Aka's blood, lifeguards use a pulse oximeter.
How's it going down there, man?
Okay, I'm just checking the oxygen.
So the pulse oximeter give it to us the 96%, which is good indication for us that it's getting better.
Yeah, there's an ambulance coming. We just want to cancel it. Yeah, they were pretty bad, and they've come pretty good now. So.
And I was just swimming, and then my leg died, and I was just started sinking. And then I looked back up, and I'm on the sand with something in my face, giving me oxygen mask, and yeah, that's how I went down.
Today, Aka is lucky that he's going home in a train and not an ambulance.
It goes to show that you can't be too complacent. Even in the flags, you know, which is up there with the safest swimming areas, you know, things do happen. I think Aka owes a lot to his mates for pulling him out that day. I think Aka was a lucky man.
A common problem facing swimmers at Bondi is where to leave their valuables while going for a swim. When things go wrong, this also becomes a problem for lifeguards.
I lost my wallet on the beach.
Backpacker Olivia is from the UK and has only just arrived in Australia.
We get a lot of lost property reports down here at Bondi. A day doesn't go by where something isn't handed in, but this case was a little bit different.
I went for a swim and buried my wallet and then forgot to dig it up again.
The whole idea of burying your stuff in the sand, like, yeah, it's appealing, but if you really break it down, like, the stuff you got is highly valuable, and so to protect it, you're burying it deep into the sand. Like, nah. Luckily for Olivia, we've actually got some really good metal detecting people that we can rely on.
If Olivia's wallet is to be found by using a metal detector, it's essential it has some metal in it.
Has it definitely got coins in? It definitely has some coins in, not tons.
Whenever anyone loses something valuable or buries something valuable and never finds it again, we call him Michael.
Hi. I'm travelling, I'm 18, and it's my second day in Australia. If you can find it for me, that'd be so great.
Olivia's wallet is buried close to the shore at the south end. But the tide is rising.
I feel like it might be underwater now, though.
Thankfully, Michael and his metal detector are on the way.
Oh, there he is. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
There's no one quite like Michael. He doesn't physically fit in the kind of generic idea of what you think a metal detector guy might look like. He's like an athlete or something. Big boy, strong.
Michael's detecting track record is excellent.
No get stuff. Doing sapphire, 2 diamonds on the side, 18 carat white gold.
Yep.
So very quickly, the search area. How big do you think the search area is?
Like 20 metres.
20 metres.
25.
I've got a lot of faith in Michael and what he can deliver. He looks like he's just had a solid workout and he's ready to go.
So we'll get down location now.
Yeah.
We'll grid it off and see how we go.
Okay.
Yeah, how are ya?
Marcus.
Come on.
but unfortunately today, Mother Nature is against him. There's an incoming tide and the clock's ticking.
After 30 minutes, there's no sign of the wallet. Michael moves further up the beach for one last look.
Got your wallet. Beautiful. We got it. Thank you very much.
When I found out that Michael had found the buried treasure, I knew how stoked the girls were going to be, and yeah, I was happy to be involved in it.
Rosie, my bestest friend, still has her wallet and she's going to buy me a beer, hopefully, to make me feel a bit better. A good luck beer in the shade, because it's quite warm.
As the days get shorter and the weather begins to cool down, another Bondi summer draws to a close. It's when lifeguards unite to remember a successful season.
Yeah, we love to have a bit of an end of summer wind down, just to thank the team and just a feel-good, fun thing.
North Bondi has been home to many a spectacular summer send-off.
Waiting for Goldilocks. You're waiting for Goldilocks? Yeah, Goldilocks is running late.
It was like Keystone Cops comes to Bondi.
This year, Beardy is upholding the colourful tradition.
Up for grabs today, we've got the inaugural Lifeguard Softy Challenge trophy.
A surfing contest on soft surfboards made of foam with a special dress code.
I've been travelling the Wild West the last couple of days and, you know, I've just stopped here to take in the eastern breeze.
Maxi 100% has the best costume on. I just don't know where to look.
They are. They did.
Yeah, we had Spider-Man, Superman. Where's Wally?
I'm just some guy in a white suit going through the surf with a moustache. That sucks.
The priority is to have fun.
Yeehaw!
Unless you want to win, which goes for just about everyone.
Try and take this out.
Me for the win. Nothing less.
Yeah, good luck, fellas, and I hope Maxi doesn't whip you too hard.
Let's go.
Here we go, Spidey.
A good outfit helps.
Vicky's all over this. What is he? He's leading, isn't he?
But what else is Judge Beardy looking for?
And he's picked a child up. That's extra points. He's got a kid. Will's just got a 4 for lifting a child.
Could be on. Dean's on.
Dean's on. Headstand.
May as well get back on my horse and go home.
Beardy is up next and hands over judging responsibilities to Hoppo.
Here we go, cowboy. He's got big hips for a cowboy. Poor horse.
Pretty competitive heat, this one.
After that wave, I was feeling pretty good. Oh! 2 turns, smell the victory. Yeah. Okay, ready, go! Oh, look at Max Ashford.
Pointy bum.
Oh,
Yeah, it's been great. This mad balance of like fun and work, and it's crazy. I don't think you get it in any other workplace, so I love it.
This will be a good heat. Lockie always likes to be so competitive. Jack's new and he wants to prove himself. Oh, fatty. Oh, high five of a female. Far out. But that's a 10. Oh, that spot just switched there. Oh, the switch spot. That's a 7. There's A-long. There he is. There's Singlet. Oh. You know what? Every single one gets a 1. That's just a 1. Having an event like that for the guys after work is such a good element to our workplace. You know, we are a family. We work really close through really difficult situations, and this is just such a good wind down. Having everyone bring their family, their kids, their partners down is such a good thing, and that's exactly what we want our workplace to be.
Yeah, it's been
been a real season of ups and downs. You know, we've had some low moments for, you know, a couple of the new guys have had to deal with some really serious scenarios.
When I found out the patient didn't survive, I was pretty gutted.
But on the other side of the coin, we've had some really big ups.
You're very attracted to you. Do you like Thai food?
Hundreds of lives have been saved.
Get on the board, get on the board, get on.
Plenty of rescues in the water. We've probably done well over 500 for the summer.
There have been dozens of critical situations on land.
What have you taken?
All these helicopters here now are here for you.
Really?
You know, Harry's has been as wacky as he's ever been.
Can we take it for a little ride?
Oh, shit, yeah.
This season has also been a year of new beginnings.
We had 6 new recruits and they all performed very well this year. Definitely they'll all be back for another season. And Berkey as the trainee, you know, he's got a bit more time to go in that position. But hopefully he will move into a lifeguard position later down the track. But the highlight for me this year is probably I was back on the tools a bit more this summer.
We're all sweet. We'll get there.
Oh, look, I don't know how many more summers I've got left in me. The old body's hanging in, but, you know, I'll be back next summer and pretty much just taking it summer by summer at this stage of my career.